put it on my Instagram.
I think it's literally, that's a good shout. And we have like our little 2-minute ramble where people can be. Let me send you the link. Hey, chat. Thanks everyone for showing up in the chat already. Everyone needs to get in, send in your super chats so we can get to all of your questions. Because
right off the bat,
I didn't even get to watch the freaking conference because someone, Mike, who's not here, so I feel confident calling him out, forgot to send it to me. So I feel like an audience. I feel like I'm part of the audience today because there's so much that I want to hear about that went down.
There's a lot to recap. There was such good speakers all weekend.
Heck yeah. And we've got Robert Dakota hanging out backstage, waiting to jump in and tell us all about like the organization of it, all the cool stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've got some surprises.
We got some surprises. All the gossip. No, I'm just kidding. There's no
so many friendships, new friendships.
I love that.
So much community building.
Community. That's beautiful.
And then Mike is on a plane, or about to be on a plane on his way back home.
Yeah, I don't know if he's on the plane or
hopefully going to make a later appearance, but we're steering the ship without him.
Oh, there he is. He's in the chat. Mike's in the chat. Heck yeah. Miss you, Mike. I hope your flight goes well. Flying now. Isn't that wild? When I was growing up, if you told me that we'd have phones that we could like message each other like from the air, come on. That's ridiculous.
Wait a sec.
Will, hashtag incredible history, guest hosting today. Heck yeah.
What's up?
So, okay. I feel like we just get straight into it because I know everyone here wants to hear about the conference. I know I want to hear about the conference. Give me y'all's like 2-minute rundowns and then we'll like get into it, I guess, in more detail. I want to get Robert in soon as well.
Sammy, you go first because I'm going to post this link.
I was going to say, you go first. Okay, fine. You're busy.
You guys are so
polite. Man. Okay, so yeah, it was just a beautiful weekend. It's nice to be in Phoenix. It's sunny. The weather's perfect. The hotel that the conference was at was gorgeous. Like we were just there. We didn't have to leave. It was pools, food, everyone there. So it was like all of the speakers during the day, you know, breaks in between with the lunches and amazing breakfast and like, you know,
amazing breakfast
for like a hotel lobby breakfast. I was very happy with that. And just getting to see everyone like during the meal times and then, you know, afterwards, everyone all hanging out at the hotel bar and building the friendships, continuing the conversation. I think the really cool thing about it is that all of the speakers were so intertwined with the community and everyone that like all of the people just attending. So it gave everyone attending a really amazing opportunity to get to take photos and have conversations with these people that they've been following on the internet for years.
That's amazing. That's really freaking cool. We don't normally do this, but I just want to bring up one comment from the chat because I just want to. Is this true? This feels like it's not true. I feel like this is a joke and I'm not getting it.
Definitely a joke.
It was undercover.
Okay.
He took his hat off.
I met Sam for the first time in person. I've known Sam for several years now, I think, on Twitter. And so we got to meet and hang out. Michael Button, met him for the first time. Really everybody but like Michael Collins. I'd met Mike previously, but everyone else there, I knew who so many people were. You got to see him for the first time, say what's up. So lots of stories we could go into on that. But yeah, it was awesome. And really good speakers as well. I think Robert's going to be coming in here pretty soon. He can kind of give you his behind the scenes take on like how everything went on the organization side as well. Billy Carson was there. I believe Billy Carson got a standing O. I didn't get to see the very end of it because I was busy getting ready for something I had to do later, but my brother was in there and I was getting texts. And if you've never seen Billy Carson before, you know, it gets a little wild. You know, I think he was talking about the civilizations on Mars and all that. And at one point at the very end, I think he got a standing O. So
That's
it was
amazing.
cool. Michael Button, there were so many good talks. There was amazing talks. Hugh Newman and Michael Button were two of my favorites. Hugh Newman, I've been following for like, I don't know, 5 years or something like that. So that was cool meeting him in person. And he was showing us some of the work he's been doing on trying to figure out if there's winter and summer solstices at some of these sites in Turkey. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it's always hard to tell because it's like the sun rises, right? You have to have like it rising through something intentionally. Otherwise, it's like the sun just rises on something. But he put a lot of math, and I believe was even working with, what's his name? The something Simpson. I apologize, with the ancient architects, and has convinced a lot of people that it's possible that some of these early sites 12,000 years ago were summer and winter solstice markers, which is pretty extraordinary. So, and then Michael Button's speech was amazing. You know, I think Americans, the cadence of a British speaker was almost like he was at Oxford, like delivering like a, you know, kind of delivering like a nice little, an actual speech. You know, his cadence almost sounded like his YouTube channel, and he crushed it. Just hit you with information after information after information. And he does a really good job, which I appreciate as someone that's, I'm like very open-minded to alternative things, but I stick to a lot of like, primary source history. I'm really into the conquistador eras right now, and he does a good job of like finding things that are kind of on the edge, just now getting discovered, right? Homo sapiens going back further, you know, with new discoveries where it's pretty legit, but it's still kind of into the alternative field. But he backs it up with literature, with articles, and so I really liked his as well.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Michael coming from like the home counties. It's so funny. The first time we met, I was like, where are you from? And he's like, oh, just north of London. I was like, you're posh. Like, you're really posh. I was like, what school did you go to? He's like, Birmingham. I'm like, oh yeah, one of the hardest schools to get into. You're posh and you're a nerd and you're really nice and down to earth and so lovely to be around. Like,
and he did so good. It was his first speech, and we were all just like, wow, he did so like natural. He did amazing.
Yeah.
That's freaking awesome.
I was bummed. I really shouldn't have left yesterday. I was thinking about staying an extra day because him and Mike told me they were going to go shoot guns in the desert. And I'd been talking to Michael all week about like the gun culture in Kansas. And then he posts that video today of him just going to town on this like fully automatic machine gun.
He did?
I don't know if it was fully auto. Yeah. Check out his Twitter. And I was like, I should have stayed an extra day. That'd been fun.
Heck yeah.
We'll have to make an extra trip for that next time. We've got some things planned. We've got some secret side quests that we're going to be working on that we will love to bring you in on.
Speaking of next time, I think it's time we bring to the stage Mr. Robert Dakota, the reason that all of this came together, sir.
Right.
Robert, it's so lovely to meet you. I don't count this as like meeting you for real because I'm going to meet you at the conferences next year for sure, if not before. But what an incredible thing that you and Mike and everyone pulled together. How are you doing? How do you feel about everything? How do you feel like it went? Tell us everything.
Well, we just got done unpacking and got the production stage all off the U-Haul just before I jumped on here. So I didn't get all scrubbed up for this, but
you look marvelous. I can't smell you at all.
Good thing we don't have smell-o-vision.
I wonder if that's going to be a thing. Is that ever going to get invented?
I hope so. There's so many smells that I missed from back home, but not worth me going back there because, like, well, but
maybe with the VR headsets when we start getting to like link up without the chip, I won't be doing that. Anyway.
No, I won't be doing that either. But like, if someone else does it, I would be like, okay, cool. Let me.
Maybe when I'm like 90, I might throw the chip in. If I'm like 90,
Well, you're going to be living until you're like 150 million. If you end up like the rest of your family, like you're going to live for such a long time without the microchip, you'll be fine.
I have some old grandparents for sure.
Oh gosh. Anyway, sorry, Robert. I really want to get into more of like, how did this conference come together? Like, what's the sort of backstory? You know, we've heard a lot from Mike about it, but really, you know, I don't even know what goes into putting something like this together. So can you tell us the secret sauce? I know that this is like your kind of party trick. Sounds like you throw a great party as well, judging by what everyone has told me thus far.
Yeah, I got trained well by my European friends. I lived in Europe for a while, and I was like, oh, this is a good party. We don't have it this good at home. I'm going to take it back with me.
Heck yeah.
So that's a little bit of comps to the Europeans. Yeah, it really goes back a long ways. I'll try to make it brief and give you a brief overall to how this came about, but I was in theology school, and I got up to my master's degree when I was about 26. And I just couldn't stand the writing and the back and forth, this opinion and that. And I was like, I had enough. That was not what I was going for. And I thought, I'm 26. I want to go out and travel while I'm young. I want to go out and see things for myself, check it out for myself, and hear what indigenous people have to say, hear what other cultures have to say, and, you know, get down to the real root and bottom of things. And during theology school, I had to study the ancient Near East and all of that ancient culture to be able to have proper context to what we were reading. And if you don't have that, you're kind of like just inventing what you think the interpretation is yourself. So that's kind of a brief background. I ended up quitting theology school altogether, skipping the PhD. And once I got traveling, I couldn't stop. And that's kind of how Worldviews got started. I had the double entendre in mind of different cultures, but also different beautiful landscapes all over the world. And that's a way to bring people together and show that we have so much more in common than we have in difference. It's so ridiculous to point out all the differences, because that's the spice of it all. I want to go out and see something different. So it started when I was pretty young. My first trip out of the country was 23. I went to Roatan, Honduras. And after that, I was hooked. I was just like, wow, I'm learning more just stepping out of my own culture and my own bubble. And I was meeting Europeans again. They were just like super travelers. I was like, how do you go traveling for a year? What's that? Like, I thought I was a beast, 6 weeks. I'm going to be going for 6 weeks. Who does that?
You're like, oh, these guys are professionals.
Oh, yeah.
They do this full time.
I still have friends that like in their late 30s who will work for like 3-4 months, bank up cash, and then just fuck off for the rest of the year all over the world. They're the happiest people I know. It's like, it's a very like European thing to do. It's like supported and championed a lot in the culture as well, which is kind of nice. It's also easier to get places, I think, from Britain. But anyway, yeah. So you're traveling. I mean, you sound like you were also traveling to a lot of the places that, hold so much of that ancient knowledge and culture in them. So was that like where the crossover came in, or how did that happen for you, Robert?
How did the what come in?
Like the sort of I think kind of like the way that Mike does it, right? Like he travels all over the world. Same with you, Will, visiting these historical sites. But I think he initially just went because he was like, I'm just going to go on a trip to Peru to like be a tourist. And then ended up having this like life-changing experience that I know he talked about in the speech. So did you get into, or was it like the sort of crossover with like theology? Because like you said, like all those things
It was a little of
They
both.
mishmashed together.
After my master's degree, I got introduced to Joseph Campbell by accident, and he kind of gave me the permission to, yeah, I can have my own spiritual practice, belief, and everything, but I don't have to dismiss everybody else's in the process. And there's a way to smooth that out. And he was very much into Native Americans. So during the Depression, he just waited it out. He took all of his books that he loved about Native Americans up to the Smoky Mountains and waited till the Depression was over, or the Appalachian Mountains, I think it was. And so I thought, wow, that's how you can reignite your interest and everything without having to throw the baby out with the bathwater. So I thought I was very interested in indigenous cultures. And so after Honduras, the next trip was to Australia. I wanted to meet Aboriginal people because I saw they were some of the oldest people on the planet. And I thought they got to know some things that we don't know and we can't dismiss it. We got to look into it. So I used the excuse of my thesis paper to go to Australia because everyone was thinking, why are you fucking off and going to Australia when you should be hard at work? I was like, no, I'm really not going for the Native women. It's a project I'm working on. I'm doing research. I don't know anything about the tapu speeches there. What are you talking about?
You got to get primary data. Yeah.
But you were like what, like 28 at the time?
I was 23 to 26.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was ready to rumble.
So what did you learn when you were spending time with the Aboriginal culture?
Yeah, it was pretty tough because, you know, the first thing that you see when you're dealing with indigenous cultures all the time is the after effects with the result of us moving in and just kind of taking over. And so there's this kind of universal loss of self-identity. And once you lose that connection to your own roots and your own identity, you don't have any compass, you don't have any navigational things. So the hardest part was getting in contact with them because they don't really want to have contact, especially if you're very interested. They're just super suspicious of you. And everything's sus, like, what is this guy up to? What's this white dude want? And so, ironically, where I met the most interesting people were in bars.
And that always the way.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, I was expecting, you know, you're going to be painting dots on me and, you know, the whole Crocodile Dundee and didgeridoo around the fire and you turn out to be an okay white boy, you know, it was harsh. So I guess what I learned was that, again, I feel like we've dismissed a long time ago all the technologies that we want to reference as primitive: connection to plants, connection to the earth, connection to the stars, connection to each other. And again, over and over again, connection to the earth is always the most important thing to them. And it's a continuous thing. I think William would maybe agree with that. And I think the loss of self-identity. And I think what happened to us Europeans that end up being sent out all over the world, I'll call it immigration invasion 1.0, is that our roots were cut. You know, the Druids and all the Celts and everything, their connection to the land and everything, their ceremonies, everything they knew about their society was cut at the roots, and then they were made poor and like, hey, it's out there, go get it. So I think that's what we have in common with the indigenous people. We're indigenous to this planet as well. And I think that's the key. Everyone is looking for their self-identity.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And I feel like, I don't know, from the conference, do you feel like there was kind of like a running theme within that? Because it kind of goes back to a little bit, it's almost on this in the same vein as what Graham Hancock was talking about last week on the stream of, this is all our story. When you look at ancient civilizations, this is like, we have a fundamental thirst to know where we come from. And like you said, Robert, it feels like it's like filling that heart gap of, not just where we come from, but what that fundamentally meant to us and our culture and our bloodline, our lineage, and that sort of like generational knowledge that we know is back there, but modernity doesn't let us get there. Did any of that kind of come up at the conference, guys? Did you notice anything like within those themes? Were there any speakers that kind of spoke on that, or are we going to be saving that for the next conference?
I think Billy touched on that a little bit, but I think they all touched on it. Just because, and including William, when he's just bringing a lot of scientific data, it's non-biased. It's like, these are the facts. This is what we have to look at and understand. And especially Graham, he doesn't have any motive. He doesn't have any dog in that race. And he's always been supporting Indigenous people and genuinely giving them credit for technologies that we simply dismiss. So I think everyone doing their part actually reveals that in a non-biased way. What do you think, William?
Yeah, for sure. I always thought the whole accusations of Graham being racist were funny. Like, if you actually read his books, he's pretty clear that, like, if Atlantis did exist, they probably weren't white. So yeah. Even I didn't realize that Billy Carson was part Native. His father, that was news to me as well. So yeah. And
you mentioned all the spoilers. Like, get more into that. I didn't know that. Like, is that kind of what Billy went into? Like, did he talk about that, like the Indigenous culture theme throughout, or what was his speech about?
That's how he opened, and he talked a lot about the Hopi prophecies and like the fourth world that we're living in, right? The fourth world, and the different oral traditions they have of the people that came and saved them, warned them of coming cataclysms. And actually made a video about this a few years ago. It's like the ant people, right? That they were told by somebody that they needed to go underground for a period of time, and then when that period of time was over, they emerged again. The Aztec have a similar oral tradition as well. So yeah, and if you go like to Chaco Canyon or any of these sites out in the American Southwest, really anywhere, the mound builders, every single structure that they built was oriented purposefully toward the sky, whether it was the equinox, the solstice markers, or the lunar cycle. I talked a little bit about that in my talk. We talked about Chimney Rock, Colorado, and how, actually, can I share my screen?
Yeah, I think so. You should be able to.
Let me see if I can do this without.
Sammi was great. She was all over the place getting B-roll for us. She was awesome.
It's fun. It was a fun way to be as like a very ADD person, getting to experience the conference, just dancing around and getting to do a bunch of different things. And
I thought that was my excuse.
Was that?
I thought that was my excuse. I was skateboarding all over the hotel.
I know. We were right behind you at one point, and I was like, "Dang, Robert, that's so smart." It was so far. Like, it was such a huge hotel to get from the front to the conference room that you really planned ahead there.
I was wondering whose longboard that was at breakfast each day, and then I saw Robert last day shredding out there.
Awesome. That's so freaking cool. Wait, what hotel were you guys at in Scottsdale?
It was Embassy Suites Hilton Resort in Scottsdale. It was in Uptown or Old Town, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
I should say it correctly. Historic Old Town Scottsdale. And they're very proud of that place. And it's a very, cozy, like locals type people. So yeah, it was a lot of good fun. And by the way, William's talk was excellent as well. He was on
Thank you.
it. Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Cool.
One of my faves for sure.
Thank you. I was hoping it was going to go well. I had like my slides and my visuals ready to go. And then I watched the first couple speeches and I was like, oh, 1 hour is more time than I realized it was. I think I need to go. So that night I went and added like 25% more to my talk. So I appreciate that.
I'm really glad you went into the cover up stuff. Everyone loves a good cover up.
Yeah, Boy It's Laco. Yeah, we can talk about that too. I actually have Google Earth pulled up right now if you want me to. I already talked about it a little bit, but if you all want to see what Chimney Rock, Colorado looks like from Google Earth.
Oh, heck yeah.
Can you see this right now?
Let me see. How do we show it on
maybe you have to allow it's like
there you go.
Oh, shoot.
So right now it's not showing the pillars for whatever reason. Those must not show up on the satellite view, but you have this Chacoan Great House. There's a guy named Jim McAlville, or McAlville, I believe his name was. He was a really good archaeologist from Colorado. And they realized that the tree rings inside of the Great House here, that there was 2 building periods, 18.6 years apart, which is the exact time between all the lunar standstills or the lunar cycles. So he predicted that from the Great House, during that time period, that you would be able to see a full moon rising through the pillars at Chimney Rock. And sure enough, in 2007, that's exactly what they saw. So actually, sorry, that was in the 90s that they saw it. They got their first photographs of it in 2007, and it's happening right now, actually. We are in a major lunar standstill. It started in 2023, and it's going to last until 2026. They likely did this to orient themselves with their crop cycles. Who knows? All kinds of stuff. I kind of got into some weird or fun esoteric stuff with it, how we still follow it. There's a lot of billionaires today that follow what they call their 18-year boom and bust credit bust cycle. And 2007, what happened in 2007? We had our housing market crisis. So this is what it looks like. I was there over COVID and I had the place to myself. And it's they had the road closed, so you can drive up here, but they had the roads closed. So I had to hike all the way up through this and around to get up here. It took me about 3 hours, and flew my drone around and got some footage for a video I made on it that got like 1,000 views. I need to make a new video on it. I wasn't very good at titles back then. But
it's all about the titles, but that's cool as heck. I didn't. So the lunar standstill, like, pardon my ignorance. Oh, did we lose Will's face?
Oh, am I back? Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Where are you? Can't see you. Your camera went out.
See if
I don't know how to fix it because I'm not good at that stuff. But
figure it out.
I think he'll be back now. But
we're out with Randall during COVID. Not in that specific area, but out in the Southwest there.
Wait, you were?
Yeah, we did a couple of trips with Randall and Freddie Silva, and we just pretended like it wasn't going on as much as possible.
That's so smart. No, I mean, I think I talked about it on the stream before. Like, I was in China during the SARS epidemic, and we knew then. Like, as soon as they started talking about this stuff, like with COVID, I was like, it's a lie. I'm going to get out of here. But wait, what were you guys doing with Randall back then? That's cool. Anything like Randall involved is pretty freaking cool anyway.
Yeah, that was super cool. The first time I was hanging out with Randall was 2019. And so I'm wondering when William was out there, but 2021, we did our first trip, and that was like right in the beef of it all. But different places had different rules, and when we got on the van together, the whole group was all, didn't know what to do and had their masks on. And I would come walking up, and they're like, "Do we have to wear masks?" And I go, "Well, I'm not wearing any masks. I don't care what you do."
Yeah.
Heck
So
yeah.
in that speech, I prefaced the story. Sorry in the chat for anyone who's already there and you're hearing this a second time, but before the first thing I did was Chimney Rock, Colorado, if I remember right, because I was in Denver walking in a park, minding my business, 100 yards away from the closest person, and some freak comes up to me and with mask on and starts yelling at me about how I don't have my mask on. And so I was like, I'm getting out of here.
Outside at a park.
I'm getting out of here. So I took my stimmy check, bought a drone, and went to Chimney Rock, Colorado, and then stayed out in the desert for like a month. It was car camping. It was fun.
Yeah.
That is awesome. That's how to freaking do it, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like, God, I just got like a bigger apartment. I moved in on the day of the George Floyd riots. So I'll never forget that. So I just got a big apartment. I just like hunkered down and worked. Well, I was in LA. I didn't want to deal with anyone. I didn't have a driver's license. But same thing, like walking around, people would be like, "You need to be wearing a mask." I was like, "You need to eat a bag of dicks." But
I had just moved into an apartment that was like right downtown, right before all that happened too. So I could like when everything was going on, like I could just hear everything outside. Yeah. It was crazy.
All the helicopters coming over, and it's just like, maybe it is the end of the world. Not in this apartment, but definitely outside if you're in the city.
I would have preferred to have been out just in the desert.
Yeah.
I wish I did what you did well. It's amazing.
Well, I feel like you guys have that deeper connection to the natural world, just that natural calling to get out.
North America is still wild. I don't know. I've seen like 4 different times I've came across mountain lions like on the trail. Like people always give Americans grief for our guns, but like it's like we got things that can kill us over here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was great. When I wrote my book a couple years back, I was still teaching, so I had my summers off, and I bought a Jackery, some solar panels.
What's
like
a Jackery?
It's like a big battery. And then I had like a mini refrigerator and Starlink, and it all ran on the solar. I had plenty. And so I was like, I could just live out here. I could just live out here on the land. And I did for a couple months. It was probably nasty, but I was like camping on the San Juan River. You just, jump in that river each day. You're fine. Give your armpits a little scrub. Yep. But it was fun.
Yeah.
And brings you back to your roots as a human.
Totally. And so I think a lot of people are doing that. People are just, maybe it's homeless. Maybe you're kind of like choosing to be homeless, but it was a season for me, a season of homelessness. So it was fun.
I think it's like a reconnection with nature. Like there's like, it's like 2 different things. There's like homelessness, there's vagrancy, and then there's, going out and being where the wild things are. And, homelessness, like the way I explained it to my husband, we were up in Asheville, and he was just like, the homeless people look the same as like the people that just live here. And I'm like, babe, those aren't homeless people. Those are vagrants and
vagabonds.
Yeah. Like those
did
are
you
vagrants.
Feel, Robert, did you? Oh, sorry.
No, you go.
I was going to ask Robert if during your travels when you're younger, or like at any point as you have grown and continue to travel, if that was the part of traveling that like kept you kind of coming back and going to like wild places and
definitely. I wanted to see big nature. I wanted to see it in other parts of the world. I wanted to see the other parts of the world out there first before I got older, because when I get older, I can do all the exploring around here I want, but I want to be vigorous when I'm, traveling. So that vagabond thing definitely applies. I can tell you one story about a trip where I had to go out traveling so bad, and I was so done with everything. And I was trying to make a youth hostel in Newport Beach, California, and the local politics crushed me in the end, and all my capital and everything. And I said, I was doing this so I could go traveling, have a business to come back to, inspire other young people. Why are they against this? And so, whatever reason, I beat them in the end, but I lost all my capital fighting them. So I said, "Fuck it, I'm going traveling anyways." And I left with 50 bucks in my pocket, and I landed in Switzerland, Zurich, Switzerland, where I had a job and a place to stay offered to me already. And then I ended up in Bavaria and Copenhagen and Sweden. And just from travelers that I had hosted before, took them surfing, took them rock climbing, took them to Yosemite, Joshua Tree, scuba diving, anything, everything California had to offer. And then it turned out I had these kind of credits, and people were so gracious and just way over the top hospitable, treating you like a king, and wanting to show you their culture and treat you better than you treated them. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. So that's part of Worldviews too, is that I wanted to make this network for young travelers, which I was one of them, where it was like now we have it. When I started this, there was no internet. So I wanted to I wanted to have computer programmers develop this computer program that people could plug into and meet other travelers, and pay the travelers to host you at their house. Don't pay a corporate hotel. Get treated like a local and get to see what locals see and connect with other cool people. It was just over the top. I just made friends all over the world, and I could show up with my mountain bike. I had no transportation, no car, no bank account. I was just really on the edge. It was just like I cut the cord and said, fuck, you took my dream away from me for no reason. Okay, I'm out of here. Watch this.
So you had really created this grassroots almost movement before the internet that was pre-couch surfer, pre-Airbnb, solely built off of phone numbers and do you have an email?
Yeah, no email.
Just phone numbers.
It was awful. We did mostly everything by snail mail, sending each other postcards.
Okay.
Hey, I'm so-and-so. I got in touch with you from Robert. And I have some wild stories. Oh my God, living in Europe with Europeans, they're party animals. And I was a theology student I didn't drink, I didn't smoke. I was like a real nerdy, I didn't do anything. I didn't go with girls who did, but they corrupted me really well.
We're good at that. We like
in a good way. In a good way. I'm proud of it.
That's incredible. Like the snail mail thing, that sounds like that's an adventure. Like I'm going to send this out. I don't know if I'll get a reply. If I do get a reply, I don't know when it's going to be. Yeah. And then you get the reply and you're like, all right, I'm packing my bags. That's pretty gnarly. Yeah. Things are so instant now.
Yeah.
Would you wait to get the reply before you went to that person, or did you?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, okay. Yeah, of course. And when
that would take a week or two.
Yeah, when I got out of theology school, I had a swimming pool cleaning business that I financed myself to go to school and have a home. And then in the off season, when it was winter and I didn't have to watch it so closely, I could leave it with someone else and go traveling. So I did little bits and pieces of that till I got out of college. And then again, I came back from a traveling adventure and I was like, I have to go to Newport Beach. I have to make this youth hostel. That's my way of getting out of the church and the PhD and giving back to the young people, which is what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a youth pastor and give them everything I was learning at the school so they don't have to spend a lifetime figuring out like I did. let's just take some shortcuts and give everyone the direct information. And so when I had the swimming pool business travel, I'd meet kids at the youth hostel, other kids my age, and I didn't know about youth hostels. Like, that sounded like a violent place to me. What's a youth hostel? And I just met the coolest. Everyone wanted to share dinner with you and hang out, and nobody had any money, but it was always enough. And if you didn't have some food, people would love to share with you. And the conversations and the parties and staying up all night. And of course, the girls, I'm always there. They were always there too, so that was a high motivation of mine. And we would exchange addresses, and then before you knew it, I had hundreds of addresses. And living in Newport Beach, everybody wanted to visit me. Everyone wanted to learn how to surf. The Europeans wanted to go to the desert because it's so wild, and rock climbers. That's how I ended up in Switzerland. This rock climber from Joshua Tree said, I got a job for you in Switzerland if you want to come over, and I have a place for you to stay.
That's amazing. Awesome.
And then I met another dude on top of Half Dome. And he was Bavarian, and he was a carpenter, and he gave me his phone number and said I had a place to stay and a job there.
Awesome.
That's
Robert, have you ever,
incredible.
do you watch Gabriel Traveler, the YouTube channel, Gabriel Traveler? Do you know who he is?
No.
He'd be right up your alley.
Yeah.
He's one of the OG travel channels. He's been making travel content for 12 years. GoPro, iPhone. Maybe he has a drone now. I don't know. Very, very simple. But one of my favorite travel channels, because part of his experience is some of his videos are like, hey guys, I'm washing dishes in Alaska for the next couple months. And then I'm going to go. Now I think he's big enough after 15 years of videos that he can afford just to do it off his YouTube channel. But check him out. He's one of my favorite travel channels. I've been watching him since the early days of YouTube. Gabriel Traveler.
Gabriel Traveler.
Yeah, definitely check that out. I see that the next generation has to pick up the mantle. They have to pick up the torch. That's one reason why I'm doing these things with Graham and our elder brothers who have already been paving the way and trailblazing for everybody else, and just making it wide open so everyone else can jump in. I want to, support their legacy while we can, because that's passing the torch to all you guys. And it's a really important thing, that, and you guys are stepping up. Just seeing everyone doing all this stuff is just really cool in my head.
Awesome.
Well, it sounded like the conference, like what's the word I'm looking for? It's almost like your aura, Robert. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but like everything that you described about, what you've loved growing up and from your travels and that sort of social culture sounds like it's definitely a huge part of the conference. Like, we were sort of joking, or not joking really, before we went live today about, just what a party it was, like within the intellectualism of all of what happened this past weekend. Like, it sounded like it was such a fun party. And initially I was like, well, yeah, like, most of the time, when we go out and talk about and do these things and meet up, I think about Will and these extensive hikes and trips that him and Mike have done, all over the world, where you can't be getting drunk and partying because you've got to go walk for a day and a half to go and like see all of this stuff, and you don't really want to do that with a hangover. So yeah, when we all get together in, like, well, hopefully I'll be there next year, but when you all get together in one place, it is time to let loose a little bit. But it sounds like it's a lot deeper than that. Like, you have not only gone out into the world and created those connections that have allowed you to live that lifestyle, but now you are truly not just like building it to sort of like pass on the torch, but you're cultivating that sort of almost homestead, like for people in this field, where it's not just about like, oh, like a lot of Europeans will go rave or will go to like Ibiza and party, but then there's this other side to it where yes, we'll go and drink and get shit faced, but we're going to go sit at the pub and we're going to like heavily debate really involved, overcomplicated topics. And we're all going to love each other for it by the end, even if we all disagree or we agree. And you've created that space, that homestead for everyone to kind of come together and do that. And I'm so excited because this was just the first one, guys. Like I wasn't even there, and I'm picking up on like how infectious that energy is. And I know
and
that
the
that's
organizer is so important.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
saying,
like it's all gonna sort of.
A lot of the parties were out in the parking lot too. Like
that's so
out in the
cool.
parking lot. It was funny. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. The organizers of these events are so important because it's the energy really does like pass down, you can really feel it all the way through. Like, so if the person organizing it has some kind of an intention, I think that it's felt all the way through. Mm-hmm. And so for this seed to have been planted for you pre-internet, where building community was the core focus, even before there was internet clout or like persona, all of that, which, let's be real, like some people do get into these kind of things for those reasons, right? But to truly have it be to build this thing so other people get to experience it, even without you having your face on it or whatever, like it's truly for the community. And I think that was really felt throughout the whole thing. And it's just such a cool evolution from this being this, this passion that you just kind of stumbled into, just solely born from loving to travel and then loving connecting people. It's like you're one of those like initiators that like, it's like an archetype, these people that link, people. And I think that's really cool how to see how it's like evolved over your lifetime.
I think Graham once called me an instigator. So I love that. You're right. The initiator is a nice way of saying that. And,
maybe it's like the two sides of that, initiator / instigator.
Yeah. Kay is exactly on, and I'll give you the secret sauce that could also give you some juice about the behind the scenes that went on for this event, and I'll try to keep it tight. During the traveling and hanging with my friends in Europe, especially Copenhagen, I learned a lot from the Danes, and I learned a lot from their culture and their society, and I see why they survived a long time. I could really go into it for a long time, but the party is part of it. The celebration, the drinking, and that's where a lot of the deep conversation and connections happen. And they have it down. They can go out and party and do all that and not be, totally trashed afterwards. Even if they are trashed, they can still get off their feet and keep it going. And one of the things I learned from the Danes was a thing that's called hygge or hygge-nuga. For like cozy word to make it stronger, but usually it's called hygge, and it means cozy. And so it means to create a cozy atmosphere, a cozy environment.
The Swiss have a similar word that means cozy. It's like the same. Yeah, it's in the wind. It's so they can survive the winter, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly precise. And so all these tough guys that I hung out with, rock climbers, mountain bikers, jocks, that you wouldn't suspect would get together and have candlelight dinners with fancy dinners with entrees and meals. And this is without the girls. This is without the ladies, with opera going and politics happening at the same time and a soccer game. And I'm thinking, oh God, I hope these guys aren't gay. I hope I don't. I'm 62, so no offense. But I was like a little worried. Oh shit! Like these guys seem a little feminine for me. What's going on here? What's this all about? Like, where's the girls? I thought we would have some ladies here, and there's just all dudes.
Why are they wearing Speedos? Why are they wearing Speedos?
Yeah. And so I just told myself, just chill out, just relax, and they actually really literally started teaching me, because I was like, what's all this? You know, you guys aren't gay, are you? You know, I literally said it to them. And they started explaining.
Like, what is this vibe? I don't understand.
Why are you guys all being like intellectual and like eating good and like listening to nice music? Are you gay? No.
The American mind can't comprehend. Flip the meme.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we're gonna go out and party afterwards. They said we're gonna go look for girls, and I was like, okay, I'm calm now. I'm calm.
That's hilarious.
And then when we all go out together, they give me instructions, like guy code instructions. And they sit me down at the table, everyone has a beer, and they said, okay, here's the rules, Robert. Do not look at the women. Whatever you do, do not look at them. Do not pay attention to them. Do not notice them. This is about us. We're here to have fun. It's not about them. It's all about us. Do not give them attention. Just have fun. And I was like, these guys are gay as shit. They're trying to talk to me. I was like, okay, that doesn't seem like a good way for me to meet women tonight. But okay, I'm gonna listen to your strategy. He goes, no, really, it works. He goes, what we're doing is we're just having fun. It's just about us. They notice that. They see us having a good time. Then if they decide they want to come meet us because we're having a good time, then we have a chance to meet them. And it's their choice.
I love that.
And then we know we don't have to go looking for guessing which one might want to talk to us, because we attract them to us. And all that dinner making and everything is so we can all learn how to make the best dinners so we can seduce the women. I was like,
oh my god,
so right.
You can't put them on a pedestal, right? Is like the polite way to say it, I think. Don't put
I guess that's what it's all about. But as a society, you know, they have to, like you said, survive the winter. So they need a woman in their bed, and or a partner, whatever it is. I'm not trying to be biased. I'm just biased for myself.
Don't worry. But that's so true. Like, I'm looking back on my adolescent years, and even when I first moved out to LA, I remember having a conversation with a guy, one of my neighbors, in a bar. He was like, you just walk up to any guy that you think is good looking and you'll talk to him. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's how we do it in Europe. And I always thought, because I'm clearly an idiot, I always thought it was because the guys were like too scared to come talk to us. Nah, y'all were playing us. You knew exactly what you were doing, and it
at least some guys
worked.
We didn't
That's
have
why we have baby booms during bad winters. Like,
yeah, but that's so beautiful, because you know why? Because in America, we have to go chasing the girls around, guessing which one that likes us or not. We have to take them to all kinds of dinners and all kinds of stuff to finally find out they only want to be our friend. What the fuck is that?
Well, and like women don't like necessarily getting hit on everywhere. It's like makes so much more sense to just like be out minding your own business. It's like emanating a vibe. But like if you have like good energy, you know, women can sense desperation. If you have any, you know, if like that little tiny bit of energy where you're like, I'm looking, it's like immediately, I feel like most women would be like, meh.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And
That's smart.
I learned from them that this is a culture about survival, really, seriously. And that this is a way of making a cozy atmosphere where everyone feels open-hearted and warm, and it's a place for bonding and connection. And I thought, wow, this is like built into the culture, and it's really important. And you know, we would go traveling around to different towns and throw a party, and we would do all the food cooking, we'd do the food prep, we'd do the cleanup, we'd buy the food, and suddenly we had 100 friends, and they just wanted to help or go do something or have a new adventure, or we were just we were like Johnny Appleseed. Well, we were planting some seeds too, but
Giggity, giggity, giggity.
and the ladies that they loved us, you know, and the ones who really loved us and liked us and wanted to be with us, we didn't have to go bugging them about it. They would just come and introduce themselves, and I just thought, man, this is so much better. Now we have, you know, blackmail in America. You get blackmailed to like behave properly, and then you'll get a treat maybe.
It is. And I think like part of it, like you see so many people, I will say not so much in this sort of demographic, I guess, that we work in, but I was even talking to like Mike and Dave who do the multiverse. I'm pretty sure I was talking to them,
Awesome
and like Cody
guys.
and Aaron, like just chatting about the sort of like, I think it was Mike and Dave actually on the multiverse, like the collapse of masculinity and how it's more of a city thing than it is like out in the countryside or out in like real America. But certainly within the cities, there is this like consumerist culture around dating, and women are as much to blame about it as men. But I'm now like, Robbie, kind of breaking my brain a little bit, because it was like growing up in Europe, and not just like in Wales where I grew up, because we would, you know, it used to be even post 9/11, you pay like 23 quid to go fly to any city. You'd go stay at a youth hostel, or, you know, that was right when Airbnb just started being a thing, but there was like another version of it that was like even cheaper. Or you go stay at a campsite even, which was great. And you just hang out, you wait until the evening, you get together, you eat, you drink, and you just party and have fun. And it's, you know, you can dance for as long as you have those sort of like intellectual conversations, and it allows for a different kind of energy to form. So people found partners far more easily. There was far less pressure when it came to dating. It was way more about like, oh yeah, we have like a natural connection that is kind of unexplainable, so we'll just go with it. Whereas like in the cities now, it's like, well, he has to buy me X amount of dinners, and he has to drive this kind of car, and, you know, she has to be a certain way and have like this, that, and the other. And it's so fucking superficial.
Status.
It's such, it's so stupid.
And a lot of wasted energy, a lot of extra energy for nothing.
Yeah.
So much better just to go in with no expectations.
Yeah.
You know,
the best connections that and friendships that I've grown with people are the friends that like, I've traveled with, and then friends that like I've cooked lots of dinners and, you know, gotten to do that sort of stuff. Is back in my farm days, growing things, when we all lived, you know, like a bunch of people lived on this property, and every night after working all day, we would all cook these dinners together. And I just had 2 of my friends over last night that now live here in Phoenix, and I was just like, I just had a moment where I was like we've been friends for years, and we've always, and my friend cooked this beautiful tom kha dinner, and he's an amazing cook. And like looking back at this, like I feel very fortunate that I've been surrounded by men who have always cooked together and cooked for the women of the group. Like I had a big group of friends that when I graduated college, we all went to Tulum together. And every night that we cooked, it was the guys of the group, like all, you know, in the kitchen and grilling and doing all of that. And yeah, it's really special. And I think it's like those friends that I have those experiences with are definitely like the friends that I have the strongest bond with.
Yeah, my husband does like all the cooking. I've just like put that together, and I've never had that in a relationship with like even like with no one. He does. I've forgotten how to do most of my cooking.
So does Ian. So have I.
It's so weird, right? Like I was away, I cooked for myself for like 30 years, and then I meet him, and now it's just all gone.
No, I'm like eggs. I cook eggs.
Yeah. Like, do we do pasta now? No. Okay.
Korean barbecue. The men cook in Korean barbecue, and they you know, you cook just a little bit of meat at a time, and you serve the women. You keep cooking it, and you kind of eat little bites of it, and then at the end, the men eat. But yeah, that's how it is in Korea.
Do you think, Robert, that goes back to you know, when you look at like indigenous cultures, I think there's this idea that people were hunter gatherers, but actually it was hunters and then gatherers. And then men would obviously do, I think, a lot of the butchering. I assume, I could be wrong. So do you think like that sort of that depth of relationship grows from all the things that we've discussed here today? You know, it's really that like wind down evening time, eating, drinking, talking, working in kind of commune and creating like micro communes, I guess, in the modern day. Do you think that goes back into just looking at everything that these ancient cultures, like that's what kind of solidified these tribes, and that's what we're all like secretly looking for? And you created this conference, and I'm so jealous that I wasn't there.
Yeah,
the next one.
I really do, Kay, and I learned a lot of that from living in Europe, and specifically living in Scandinavia. I think they still have, I think all the cultures around the world have lost their deep traditions up to some point, and whatever threads are left are the threads that we have left over now. And some have deeper ones than others, and some have deeper connections to different parts of their culture that others don't have. So it's like a big giant mosaic. And the main thing about that thing about just understanding that sex could be so much more than just, you know, a recreational high or something like that. It's much deeper than that, and the long bonds are so powerful and live for generations. And one thing I learned in Sweden is my group of friends, again, the super tough guys, like you might think they were the gang leaders or something, the kind of almost Hell's Angels type. You know, in Sweden, they're a little bit rougher than the ones that we have here in America. So yeah, they're the hardcore guys, but they're still real sweethearts. Like they understand what's going on, and they know how to take care of the ladies and diffuse jealousy, because a lot of them grew up from school kids and they shared a lot of the same girlfriends. And so as friends, they had to overcome that. Like, hey, you're with my girlfriend. So I think that's why Scandinavia,
just small communities.
My hometown was like that.
From a town with like 2,000 people. Got wild.
Oh, wow.
And
it's not your girlfriend, it's just your turn.
Yeah. And so I learned that this is really about the community surviving and staying together and not letting things that aren't worth it fracture it, because it would cost too much to the small community if you lose people or alienate people, and you had to work together and cooperate no matter what. And I really that was a mind blower for me, because I thought, well, we don't have that in America. We don't have that depth. I mean, my first German girlfriend, she brought me home to the family. I was like, what? We're going to sleep overnight together, and mom and dad are here? I'm going to have breakfast with him in the morning? By the way,
is this your first date?
But what I learned from that was the parents sanction and work on trusting the daughter to bring who they want home, And the advantage they get out of that is typically the girls aren't as what do you call it when you sleep around a lot?
Being a massive slut.
What do you say, Graham?
I said promiscuous, but I like K's.
Was the word I was looking for. Same
We
thing.
can say it.
And the reason why is because the parents were kind of involved. They have breakfast with you in the morning. They check you out. But not only are they checking you out, the daughter, she gets to see how you react to the parents and interact with them. And I thought, wow, this is a way better system. They have lots of sex, but they're not necessarily promiscuous. And we don't have as much as sex as we would like to, but we're fucking promiscuous as hell. Like, hey, maybe we could adjust this picture. So most of my girlfriends were not Americans, and
well, I think that's like just one facet of a really interesting direction that relationships just in American culture have taken, not even just from like that, all kinds of relationships, like platonic, like people are so disposable to so many people. And it's like, if you do one thing that's like red flag for someone, then you're just like, cut off. And as much as I mean, boundaries are so important, not, over giving too much of yourself away to people that don't like appreciate you. There's also, a balance to that. And there's this culture around like setting boundaries with people is thrown away in very interesting ways. Like, it's like boundaries don't exist on Hinge, but they do with like friendship, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I do. And it's almost like, what's the word I'm looking for? Fuck. I liked what you said about relationships being disposable. It almost kind of mitigates the need for going that level deeper and like really digging into and getting to know someone like for who they actually are. Because like most people, once you get to know them for who they actually are, most people are okay. Yeah, there are some people out there who are just like, they've got that kind of, what's the word? Like if they've got that kind of level of like narcissism or maybe they're just someone that comes in and just uses other people to like get ahead, like social climbers, stuff like that. I think like I've got friends even like from back in LA where I think if I introduce them,
LA's
it's one of those
it's like the epitome of this culture.
But I think if you know someone is like that and you can see past it, like it goes to what Robert was saying, like when you grow up in small communities, like I was just so normalized to having to put up with people I didn't really like that eventually I spent enough time with them that I actually really did like them. Even though I wouldn't, they're not going to be the people I would necessarily call for help or call, if I
kind of learn where to keep
they might have been assholes, but they were it's like they might have been jerks, but like they were your jerk.
Yeah. And I know for a fact that I was that jerk in a lot of those friendships. So I'm grateful that people put up with me.
I have people like that in my hometown that just like, I don't want to be around you. It's like, but I would probably die for you. Like you're mine. You know what I mean? So
it's like I don't want you to necessarily call me every day of the week, but I can't imagine throwing a party and not inviting you.
Right,
kind of
right. You wouldn't want to hurt their feelings. You want them to be happy. You want them to succeed. Yeah.
I
think that ability.
Sorry. You go, Sammi.
I just think that ability that obviously we share that perspective where it's like you're able to not see relationships as so transactional or black and white. Like I wouldn't say it's a coincidence that we also are on the side of like the anti-cancel culture, side of things. I think when that it very, LA centered, it's like cancel culture, I feel like has like stemmed into people's abilities to form relationships because it's yeah, it's like, it's that one thing, then you're cut out. But it's like when you're able to meet people for where they're at, see them for who they are, still find the good in everyone, even if like, you know, someone's like a huge asshole, being able to like, well, maybe they had a really hard childhood or something, and still being able to see that part of them that is still human. And like, and also I think the level that building community and or being in community and building friendships like allows you to grow as a person in terms of like forgiveness. Like that's just like, I think so much of it is like, so many people don't have the ability to like forgive and hold that nuance. So it's like a macro part of this macro like thing that we've all experienced in this community, that I think is a really cool thing, just to like circle it all back together to the conference and building this community that, you know.
Which, by the way, Robert, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, Sammy.
Yeah, no, go ahead. I think I made
speaking of building community, shout out to you for picking Cody to do the MC. He did amazing. Cody was so good. That was a really good chance that you gave him, because, you know, like with the second day live stream, he kind of just like he was like, you know what, we've kind of already covered some of this. I'm going to kind of improvise and just do audience questions, and had those 4 questions. And that was so much fun. He was great. Good job, Robert, allowing Cody to do some of that MC, and he was awesome. Shout out Cody. East 10 Productions. Yeah. What the best East studio on YouTube. His studio setup is so cool. East 10 Productions. He's really got some cool topics too.
I want to be Cody when I grow up. Like the first time we met, I think he's younger than me, but I want to be him when I grow up. Like the first time we met was on the Breaking Ancient News, like we, you know, social media for sure, but like first time we'd interacted. Yes, coolest. You're so right. Well, coolest freaking studio ever. The content he puts out is insane. Shots fired.
This is not shots fired. No, that's not shots fired.
I didn't mean that.
Not shots fired at all.
No, Gary was the live streamer. Gary crushed it, but I think Cody was kind of doing like the MC was the wrong word. He was doing the intro.
We all know Gary's the we all know Gary's professional.
We love Gary to death. I love disagreeing with Gary on the moon landing. He's so wrong about it, but I love him, and I would spend all day debating that with him. Again, goes back to the culture, Robert, that you've created. We've got so many of us that have so many different ideas and so many far out there ideas that maybe we don't all back up with data like Michael Button, but we all listen and we learn.
By the way, Gary also thought Cody crushed it. FY, that was not a shot at Gary.
Those were 2 different positions. Cody was the MC for the live event, and Gary was the dedicated MC for the live stream.
Right.
And it does bring it all full circle back to what you were talking about, Kay, with community, and what we were talking about, coziness and atmosphere. It's like a technology, and it's as old as the heavens. Fire, food, good friends. I used to say, give me good friends, a good place, and some good food, and what else do we need? For that moment, we're taken care of. Yep. And before I forget, it was Michael Collins that brought Cody and Aaron in them. They contacted Michael, and that just also shows, you know, what I was going to say about the behind the scenes, everything that happens. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people doing a lot of different things. Sammy was one of them. Kay was on each week with Michael. William did his thing. Michael Button did his thing. Even Graham came out for us in support. Randall, the digital media team, How To, and then all the volunteers setting the stage, because the space is important. Again, that's art. That's a technology. My former partner that I was working with for the past 15 years, she's Japanese, and she went to school for space design. And she used to always, love to collaborate on the space and how important setting the presentation is, like to super, super small details. So all of these things combined are training, and Michael brings all the people that he knows that like, yeah, I want to play in, and then these people come and I want to play in, and then next thing you know, you got all kinds of people like I want to play in,
Yep.
and that's the secret sauce. It's not that secret, and it's just about remembering, getting back to our own roots, remembering that it's important for us to sit down and break bread together, because even Jesus had the Last Supper, and
Totally.
it's very important, that communal connection. And I'll follow up with this last statement on this part about the behind the scenes. There were so many people who came from Idaho, New Mexico, Texas, Connecticut,
Alabama,
Florida,
Southeast,
Alabama,
Home counties.
Kansas, UK,
Dubai.
Dubai, even. Oh my God, it's like all these people converging, and even the people who are doing the preparation, Aaron and Mike and all those guys, they came all the way down from Idaho, and they brought all kinds of toys with them and were ready to play too. They had a telescope and all kinds of things, and that makes it easy because we're connected not only by the heart. When you share food, that's like connecting to the heart. When you eat good food together, your heart says yes, and your heart goes wide open. And then you have some grog and you're already open. Now you're having a conversation. Dropping all the guards and all that stuff. So there's one really inspirational bar in Bavaria, a pub called The Local Cure, and they had on the front sign, "Your local cure, where we curate good food and good atmosphere and good music." And they use these specific words to ignite a spiritual spark inside of everyone. I was like, that's it right there. That's the igniting a spiritual spark with the atmosphere and the energy of those elements. Isn't that scientific technology?
Absolutely.
Heck yeah.
I do have to gas you up too, Robert, because you just knowing how much was going on behind the scenes, the fact that you were still holding such positive energy and, still able to, keep the party going at night and make sure everyone was having a good time. Like, meanwhile, you're dealing with all of these, putting out little fires everywhere and stuff, and just making sure that the production is enjoyable for everybody, not just in person, but online. Like, that's such an extra whole element, like, that y'all put together. Is such a production. So kudos to you for that.
Totally.
Heck yeah. And bringing all of like these people together, like Robert, you and Mike coming together, you have very similar energies. And it's so I thought Mike was about to hop on, but I think I misread the text he just sent us.
He said he's landing in 10, so maybe next 20 or so.
Hopefully. Hurry up, Mike, if you're there listening. We miss you. I miss you. I haven't seen you in a week. But it's so funny because Mike is so humble, and I don't think he realizes how, like you, Robert, like there's just an orbit that exists, and once you're in Mike's orbit, someone said it also about Gary in the chat, like he's like a candle. And once you're in those sorts of circles, and the fact that he's also managed to bring so many like-minded loving people who, like, I've watched people put down their egos to be around Mike and to be around the things that you guys have created. And I've already made lifelong friends. It's so weird, like it wasn't until you kind of pointed it out, like when you share in that time with someone in the way you've described, like we do back in Europe. Like I have a friend, we spent one summer on a campsite together for like a week, 10 days. That was 20 years ago.
Friends for life. Yeah.
We still talk, I would say, at least you know, at least every couple of weeks. I have an Australian friend, is kind of similar, like very similar to like the European culture. We lived in the same Airbnb for like 3 months one summer.
Nice.
We'll never not have that like kinship. And you guys are creating, in what is essentially an industry, you're creating a kinship through these conferences that I think you can't replicate. No one else is going to be able to do this because it's an unspoken energy that's been brought in that is so natural to who you are, to who Mike is. Like I didn't know Will 2 months ago. I didn't know Sammi 3 months ago. I can't imagine my life without them now. I didn't know you until this evening. And I already know that like we've got so many exciting things ahead of us. And I hope everyone in the chat who's listening knows that they're a part of that too. And that this isn't the only time this is going to happen. Like this sort of like, it's an intellectual gathering, but it's so much deeper. Like the spiritual gathering is going to be coming together. I mean, there's 2 conferences now next year?
Yeah.
Austin and Sedona.
Yeah.
Sedona.
I'm so freaking excited. I really want to come to Sedona now. I'm extremely pregnant. That's the only reason I wasn't there. And I'll have like just given
blessings to you. What a blessing. That's so amazing. That's fantastic.
We're in that final stretch now. I'm hoping only another 6 weeks, but it could go another 10. So pray for me that it's only another 6.
There's a lot of serendipity though, like involved. Like so me and Mike always talk about this. You know, like me and his friendship from the get-go, neither of us wanted anything from each other than friendship. You know, we met down in Peru to see some cool stuff together. And it ended up being a YouTube collab. It ended up being a Twitter collab, but that wasn't the plan. You know, and as a result, like we're going to be friends for life. And I met so many people through Mike. So many, like almost everyone at the conference I've met because of Mike. And then even at the conference, the people that were attending, like the attendants were such high quality, you know their history. I was picking so many people's minds. Jason, it goes by Shaman on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
We sat down by each other and he's like, yeah, I'm from Alabama. And I'm like, my next episode is on DeSoto in Tuscaloosa. And he's like, let me show you this map. I'm pretty sure I have an alternative route where you know, Mobila was. And so, you know,
I think he's in the chat right now.
Is he? Oh man, shout out Jason. That was so cool. And like, I've been thinking about that a lot today. I spent about 2 hours looking at the route of DeSoto because that conversation was on my mind. So just everyone there, you know, was really solid, great to talk to, and you could learn from, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. That's so freaking cool. And especially like,
sorry, go ahead, Kate.
No, I was going to say, like, was the conference designed? Because, you know, like I've spoken at conferences before and there's a huge separation between the speakers and the guests. And it's, you know,
we were out in the parking lot, like partying together.
Yeah. See, that's how it should be, especially in this field where like you said, was it like a lot of people who were showing up who knew a lot about the field? Because like we're all here to learn from each other, right?
Yeah.
Like, was it designed that way, or did that kind of just naturally happen?
I think it's natural part of the community. My friend Martin Gray, who does sacredsites.com and has the book Sacred Earth. On that site, you can find out from sacred sites all over the world. He's gone to 2,000 sacred sites in 168 countries. And he's a very dedicated, devoted cannabis devotee. And, sadhu level.
Talk about like the great uniter. Yeah.
Well, he says that we're all over the world and we're actually the majority of people on the planet. You go anywhere in the world and you'll find someone who wants to sit down and smoke a spliff with you. And so how's that? That you can go anywhere in the world and just show up, and like someone else shows up and says, "Hey, would you like to have a smoke?" Like, what? Is it that obvious? Is it all over me? Or he says that, and you know, Ancient Aliens fans, most of them are all burners, you know. So it's not only it's more alcohol in Europe because that's more the culture, but it's more burners here because that's more the culture, where we'll use that to get together to communicate with each other.
Yeah, the spliff is like a great uniter.
We don't do spliffs here. We do it pure. We do
I know,
it
but
pure
you guys
here.
have more money than us. We can't afford to buy that much weed.
Well,
like, we
the
don't get to
American
do
version,
that.
the American version of a spliff is you take a drag and then you pull your vape pen out or throw a snuff pen or something like that.
Oh my
God. Sacrilege! Well, sacrilege!
No, or you just hit your dab pen and your nicotine vape.
Yeah, there you go.
I have not done that.
I don't recommend it either.
I don't think
I've never done anything
dangerous.
illegal or wrong. So
it might
I'm
give you like
assuming.
yeah.
I wasn't on billboards for legal weed once. Shut up. Those journals.
We're all in that realm. It's fine.
What I was saying about Michael earlier is, you know, I brought my friends here and he brought his friends here, and everyone took cross-country road trips and showed up. I had some Native American friends that came in from New Mexico and jumped in when we needed them with the flute, or, you know, prepping the stage. All that stuff we brought up in the U-Haul. You got to pull it off, organize it.
Really,
you've got to have some muscle that will really pay attention and do what you ask. And they're just there. What do you need, Robert? And they make it happen. You know, just like you were saying with Cody, and Michael brought that all in with Cody. And the first time I saw Cody in his studio, and he said, "Oh, he just did this on his own." I was like, "Wow, that's the coolest dude I've ever seen." Fuck yeah! Like,
dude,
the
seriously,
ciphers, the cowboy hat. Oh,
I told him, I'm like, dude, I want to be your friend, just to like put that out there. You're like the coolest guy.
He's got like the coolest family. His wife sounds like one of the, like, again, I just want to be her when I grow up. Like, first time
Cody
we met.
got married when he was 19 and has 4 kids. It's just like an incredible. I love that. You know, that's incredible.
Oh my God, I had no idea.
Oh yeah.
And then, you know,
2 of them born at home.
On top of that, they come and do all this work. They show up. They don't complain. What do you need? They're on it. They couldn't be happier. Everyone's high as a kite. You know, they're knocking it out of the park, you know? And then on top of that, the real cherry on top, and I learned this from a Bolivian medicine man who lived with me here for 3 years. He kept saying over and over and over again, the key to everything is gratitude. You feel lost, gratitude. Think about something you're grateful for. You don't know what you're doing next, gratitude. Whatever, you're really happy and have a good time, make sure to extra gratitude. Make sure to extra gratitude for that. And he just kept saying it over and over and over again, gratitude. I've never had one of my events. I always get a lot of good, you know, energy from that, especially Graham's last event. It was just palpable, man. It was the woo. On this one, I had everybody, it seemed like, felt obligated. I could see them out of my peripheral vision, you know, oh, someone's got a laser beam on me. I hope it's not a problem. I hope I don't have another thing to fix. What's wrong now? And people were just coming to me and saying thank you over and over again. And you can't believe how much this has touched me. And I feel like I'm home. And there's so many other people like me. I realized I'm not alone. And just for that part, I'm so grateful from my heart. And I just remember, you know, Pedro's words and everything. And then right then it's like, ding, 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 ding. This is it. It's not about the money. It's about the energy. Because, you know, Mike and I got hit hard on this because of the shutdown. And usually you're not supposed to share these things publicly. But I want to share that because we're not in it for the money. And we're going to keep going with these other events. And even beyond that in 2027, Graham's talked about he'll come back then. If we can keep it going and he can keep going, we'll meet again in 2027. So I know that it's not about the money, it's about the energy. And we get the people together and they make good energy and it grows exponentially.
Yeah.
And it's scientific technology. It's just, so we have to do that. We have to do that. The other ingredients and the information and stuff, it's so vital, but it doesn't stick if someone's sitting in a chair and not having fun or fidgeting around or they're upset about anything. It's not going to stick. It's not going to resonate. But if you're having a good time and you're having fun, they remember. It sticks. If you have a bad time, I don't want to forget. I want to forget that. So we got the right elements. We got the right people. And I didn't even know Mike. He suggested it. I just wanted to have him back as a speaker. And he goes, "No, hey, Robert, I believe in this. I want to jump in full steam ahead." I was like, wow, now that's power of one. One person jumping in full steam ahead. That's the power of one. Then you start exponentiating from there. And so that's just a little bit about behind that. There was so many beautiful people like William, Sammi, Kay, yourselves, all of us, whatever we did, whatever part we did was part of the magic that seemed like, it just popped up out of nowhere. That's easy.
Yeah. No, it was a lot of work that I saw both of you guys put in, for the months leading up prior. And I think you guys are such a wonderful duo. And I'm stoked to have you on and for people to kind of hear more from you and just like the intention behind it. Cause people want to know that who they're supporting is like, that the intention is good. And, like, even though it's not about the money, people are giving their money and they want to know that they're giving their money towards someone that, in some senses is giving back or it supports them, like this kind of, mutual support of each other. And there's no one that I feel like I've met more than you guys that are so supportive of the community that you're intentionally building around you. And I know we were sitting on the couch right after the event, right before I left, and Mike had said something about, being able to see, I think it was specifically about Cody and being able to see just, the initiative that he was putting in. And I guess like side story, it's funny because he was like underselling himself to me the night before. He was like, "There's no reason that Mike had to help, choose me to be the speaker." I'm putting him on blast right now, and it's like, it's just so funny to hear it from the other perspectives where it's like him showing, him showing up and taking the initiative. It's like everyone in your community, when you're in a community, like you see the people taking initiative. And I think Mike has just done a really amazing job of being able to like, see that in people and support it so that it grows like exponentially. I mean, I can say that for myself since we've started working together for the last year. Like, it's really cool.
He really does have like, and that's what he wants to do. It's not about it's not about him. Like it's not even just about like building the community. I think he's realized that in this specific field of exploration, like within the ancient histories, ancient mysteries, and it goes into so many other different like subgenres, like whether you're going into like UFOs or like conspiracies, whatever it is, the crossover is there throughout all of them. But again, I think the big uniter is like the open-mindedness of everyone in these communities, the want to question. But again, there's so much competition, and I think a lot of it started when Ancient Apocalypse came out. There were a handful of people on YouTube who were digging into some of this kind of stuff. But that really like brought it, like catapulted the whole industry field, whatever you want to call it, into more of like a mainstream arena, and so many people, not so many, a very small actually number of people I know in this industry are so focused on their own success and making themselves, you know, whether it's in front of the camera or behind the camera, the person in charge. And it's bitten all of them in the bum, like really badly, to the point where like their reputations are already kind of like being destroyed. And it's almost like sad to see, but that's where that kind of like darker demonic energy comes in. But then I look at, you know, Mike, when he and I first started talking about working together, his whole thing was, there's no one here bringing this industry and like all the people in it together. Like there's no one looking at this field and saying, okay, let's take ego out of it. We all want our own little piece of it, but we all get along. We're all friends. The more we collaborate, the more this field advances scientifically, the faster we all get taken seriously, the greater this becomes for not just our generation looking into it, but the generations coming up who really need to break, you know, big archaeology. And, you know, I was just so bummed that, like, for example, like AJ couldn't be at the conference, and, you know, AJ is a close friend. I love him and his team so much, and I completely understand why he couldn't be there, because I've never met a man who is more just got so much on his plate that it would like make me throw up in my hands if I had that much to do, and like so much stuff that has come up in such a small amount of time for him. But he is also one of those people who looked at all the others in this industry doing what everyone does and said, okay, how can I promote those people? How can I help those people? I've got this channel, so why don't I show a clip from, you know, Wandering Wolf? Why don't I show a clip of Jimmy Corsetti and call them out by name? He has nothing to gain from doing that other than the fact that he wants everyone to be successful.
Yeah.
And so,
yeah.
And like, you know, I can name the people who don't fit into that mindset in this field on the fingers of like one hand, which I think is kind of beautiful in and of itself. But yeah, the fact that you guys and Robert, you two, have come into it with that vision, it kind of naturally filters out a lot of crap people, but it also removes a lot of ego from people who would probably stay that way, who would be, you know, self-centered about it, had you guys not sort of like started leading the charge on saying like, no, we can all work and we can all do this together, and that's how it should be. And I think that's like the beautiful thing. Like, I never would have known that about the conference. Like, I knew that about Mike. I know that about like, you know, AJ. I know this about like Sammy, Will, Robert. I knew it kind of about you as like an individual, but I wouldn't have known that about the conference had we not all hopped on the live stream tonight. So I think that's like one of the coolest revelations, like beyond the ancient history stuff, just how like blessed and beautiful the people in this field really are, and how supportive you all are of each other. I think it's really special. But that's my little filibuster about how much I love everyone and how great I think everything is. Thanks.
Gotta spread the love. You gotta spread the love.
So special. It's so blessed. Robert, we've kept you on for like well over an hour. If you're okay to keep hanging out, we'd love to keep having you hang out. Just like to remind everyone, get your questions in the super chat, because Mike's going to be jumping in soon. And I know he's going to want to answer like lots of questions and things like that too.
What is it?
I'll hang on until Mike can jump on. Yeah, sure. Go ahead, William.
Yeah.
I was going to say, all ships sail with the rising tide. So it's like there's three, I can't even remember what the number is. There's like 3 billion views a day to go around on YouTube. It's like something crazy. I can't even remember.
More than enough.
Yeah, and it's like if you have a scarcity mindset in 2025, that's old news.
In anything, I think.
You get what you see. You get what you see. You get what you think.
Anybody that wants to take anything I put out there, drone shots, what I like, clip it, use it. You know, it'd be nice if you threw me a bone and gave me some credit, but like use it, you know, use it all. Because it's just going to come back to you. When you have a scarcity mindset, you're going to put yourself on an island real quick, and it's going to be a lonely island. So yeah.
and not like that band Lonely Island, who are actually not that bad. They're actually quite fun. They did my Dick in the Box, right?
Yeah. Well, hey, first I back. Do you remember E-Bombs World? Do you remember E-Bombs
Oh
World?
my god, yeah.
The early days of E-Bombs World, I watched Lonely Island Band, and they had a song called, what was it? An early song called Awesome Town. Everybody, after this, go listen to Awesome Town by Lonely Island Gang. Hilarious. One of the funniest songs I've ever seen. Okay. It's goofy. I was in 7th grade, to be fair. So, like, don't judge me too much if you don't like it.
It's been a while since you listened to
it. And we're going to be going to Austin.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
Austin, yeah.
Guys, I have to go pee. I'm sorry. It's not my fault. It's the baby. I'm going to go pee. I'll be right back.
All good. All good.
And, you know, to say something about Michael again, you know, he's a real warrior, and he's got a warrior's heart. He's not going to give up on anything easy. And like Truly. I said, he jumped in on his own initiative. And he said, I'll jump in with you. And I was like, really? Not many people are willing. Do you know what you're jumping in front of? Like, this is like the firing line.
Yeah.
It's something goes wrong. Something goes wrong. Everyone's pointing at you, you know?
He was an infantryman, you know?
Yeah.
He was a machine gunner. You know, like literally.
So he jumped on the firing line too. A deeper story to all this is, and it might be a little bit of sad experience to share, but for the last 15 years, I've been working on all this with my former Japanese partner, and the only reason she's former is she passed away last year from breast cancer.
Sorry about that.
And one of the things that's like keeping me inspired to make this happen is, you know, our last conversation together was, if she doesn't turn the corner, she gave me a list of things to do, which she was always giving me a list of things to do, you know, so I knew what to do. I was already trained well, so I knew what to do with that list, thank goodness. And this was one of them, to keep going, to keep doing what we were doing, to keep the production that we already put together over 15 years. And, you know, she was really a ballast for me, like in the marketing and sales and seeing things that I can't see, because I'm more, I see the big picture and the vision, but I don't always like playing with the small details. And she's being Japanese, forced to like, this is way too important, you can't overlook it. And it's also about self-development. It's not only about doing a good job. It's about, if you aren't willing to improve yourself every time, like Bushido, then that means you're lazy and you're not willing to up your game each time. So when Mike offered to jump in there, and Yuko, she's a warrior, you know. She, if somebody told her, no, you can't, that was probably what she was going to do. And those kind of things, you know. She kept everything going. Like, I literally, if I didn't have her having my back and my partner for these last 15 years, I literally wouldn't be here now and gotten this far. And then Mike jumping up and jumping in, it was, I don't know, it was like another angel stepping forward and saying, you know, don't worry, we got this. So that's how strong I think about Michael, because I really in the past haven't taken on any partners except for, you know, Yuko for 15 years, and that's a totally different thing, you know, because that's also a relationship, you know. Right. But I really felt like God or Spirit sent Michael like an angel, you know, and Archangel Michael, you know. So all of this stuff that's going on and everything that happens on stage, like, that's barely the tip of the iceberg, what's happening on stage. And what's going on behind the scenes is everyone coming together, and everyone's going to see that more and more over the next events. And this first one was just I'm just lighting the fuse.
Right. Yeah, this first one, like, you've gotten you got the energy started. I know you said you took a hit, but you got the energy started and you got all the footage from this first conference of very happy faces.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's a creative way for you to highlight that for Sedona and Austin.
Definitely. It has to, it has to be real too, Hey, Michael.
What's up?
Holding
what up?
Got that plane on the ground.
I made it. I made it home. I haven't even woken up my dog yet. I saw that he was sleeping. I was like, I'm not going to bother him. Dude,
we were just talking about
your channel.
You're saying terrible things.
Welcome to your channel.
We've been talking about you.
Welcome to your show that you started.
To talk about the conference.
So I had horrible service on the plane, so I was just like barely getting any of it, and just trying to pay attention to chat where I could. But it's so good to see all of your faces.
So good. I'm so sad I didn't stay to shoot machine guns.
So long.
My dad was even disappointed. He's like, "Why didn't you stay to shoot guns?" I wanted to come see you all. So yeah.
We'll get a Gatling gun next time.
Mike didn't either. He didn't make it.
I didn't.
You didn't?
Well, I got kind of run down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sick.
You feeling better? You sound a little better.
I feel I was losing my voice.
You still sound a little stuffy.
I'm a little stuffy. My cat, I shut the door. My cat is meowing at the door. She's really pissed that I haven't said hello.
Let her in.
I know I should. Okay, I will.
How dare you?
You guys have been go. I'm like, Sammi, you're a freaking trooper because you did the Egypt trip, came back, immediately basically came to the conference. Now you're staying at your folks' house. Like,
and then I'm going to LA right after this for a tattoo event.
Okay.
I'll only be there for 2 days. So.
That is a cool reason to go to LA.
Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be fun.
Heck yeah. Yeah. I don't know if like people know this, but Sammi, what was the thing with Inked? You were in Inked magazine.
Oh yeah.
Again, the humble nature of Sammi Lee.
She's gonna.
You would never know how freaking accomplished of an artist this woman is. In fact, I want to get a tattoo with you the next time, as long as I'm not pregnant again. I want to get
So Sammi was stealing all of the attendees at the conference away into a room and tattooing them.
Just a couple.
Way.
Not all of them. Maybe,
That's
but like
so freaking cool.
Hey, sign up. I want to do it at every conference.
That's cool. Great idea. I love it.
Right?
That's so smart.
You should like make a booth that says like prison tats and like just like line people up. Just kidding.
I love it.
A little cleaner than prison tats.
Yeah, they looked great. I saw a bunch of them, and I was very disappointed I didn't get one.
Yeah, I didn't let you. You're too sick.
Oh, you're too sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to
get. Oh, is that why I didn't get the invite? Everybody I was like, "Where is everybody?" And then I'd find out like 2 hours later they were up there getting tattooed. I was like, "Why didn't I get invited?" Sammy's just like, "I don't want that sickness over here."
No, it's for you because if your immune system's already compromised, it could affect the way the tattoo feels.
It would have probably been.
And then you're gonna get infected, and then you're gonna blame me, and I don't want to. Yeah.
This is true. This is true. You guys, from what I saw, you guys have been having some good conversations.
Yeah, we've gone deep.
We're talking a lot about community and how, when you're building friendships in this community, it's best to do it without expectations of any ROI on it, like business wise, just absolutely actually doing it because you have a like mind with somebody and you want to connect. And usually that will almost always end in an ROI on the business side of things too. It doesn't have to.
That was something that you and I, when we first started hanging out, talked about a lot because we agreed on, and a lot of people, they were giving us advice to not do that. And my thought process on that always was, people will eventually know where this content's coming from,
right?
And it
for sure
that'll pay off in the long run more than getting $50 from somebody to use a clip of my video, right?
Yeah.
Because it just shows that you're willing to put in the work and that you have been for a long time. So years to come, when people realize all these massive channels have been using your content almost exclusively, you know, like people want to know where the source of that comes from, which is nice.
Yeah. What is it? The Outdoor Boys channel? the guy that with it goes out with his sons in Alaska and goes fishing.
Love
so
him.
Probably 3 months ago, he was the biggest person on the internet, and it was almost entirely, well, it was entirely because he's awesome. But these young Gen Z dudes started clipping him on Instagram, and he blew up. You know, they put rap music to him catching salmon and doing all this stuff. Now, that guy's set for life.
Yeah.
You know,
he quit.
In fact, he quit making videos because he's just like, I'm good.
He
did.
There is, sorry, I'm like, I keep looking around because there is something else in this room with me and I don't know what it is because all of the cats aren't in the room, but there is something else in the room with me. So if I suddenly disappear, no. So I'm not like tweaking out. There's like a noise coming from over there and I don't know what it is. But and it's not a fucking skinwalker. Don't wish that on me.
You don't want any.
You're in America.
But But Luke from the Outdoor Boys, he just came back like 3 weeks ago and did like a handful of videos. And I think actually he came back either on our anniversary or like right around it. It's not a freaking ghost either. It's probably a cat or something. One of the cats caught. Apparently one of them brought a mouse.
You live in Southeast America. You live in Southeast America. It might be a ghost.
What the fuck is that?
By the way, if you have a second, go back and watch Sammy's little mischievous face as she put that last comment up on screen. It was classic. She looked so pleased with herself when she dropped the ghost up there.
So mean.
Well, I also really wanted to put that on screen for her ruined world because we got to meet her. She was so sweet. So I wanted to, she got the ghost emoji in there.
Nice. I love it.
Michelle, right? Michelle with 1 L.
Oh yeah, Michelle. Hey, it was so good to meet Michelle, and I forgot her friend's name, but
it was something really beautiful and unique.
Yeah, and when I was giving my speech, I think, or maybe when we were doing the panel, I was looking out in the crowd, and her friend was doing stretches. She was stretching in the front row. She was sitting on the ground stretching, and she had her feet up, and they said something on the bottom of her feet. And I couldn't stop reading her shoes. For some reason, sometimes something just sticks with you or whatever.
What were some of the other highlights from the actual speeches at the conference?
Hugh Newman blew me away on quite a few things. There was, I don't even know how to explain it, but for the last 4 years, I've been like investigating this phenomenon called American Ogham, which is similar to Irish Ogham. In Ireland, they call it Ogham. In America, we pronounce the G. But he had this slide that looked like these little notches or this little inscriptions that are similar to some of the stuff you see out in Colorado and West Virginia and Ireland.
Oh, and yeah, you were pointing that out to me.
Yeah, I talked to him a little bit about it afterwards. We're going to, I think, talk sometime about it. But it was from a cave in Spain that was dated at 30,000 years ago, which goes way beyond Irish Ogham. It's like, why does that all look the same? Mm-hmm. And so his theory is that there's some type of connect. Oh, I don't know what his exact theory is, but he basically said there's some type of connection there. So I really like that. That was interesting. That was like, that blew my mind and got me motivated again to go down the Ogham rabbit hole. Ogham for anybody out there trying to do a little research on that right now.
I just looked it up again because we have like different terms for it in like the Welsh Celtic script.
Yeah, it's Celtic Ogham, or Irish. It's mainly found in Ireland, so a lot of people call it Irish Ogham. But yeah,
that so
blew my
cool.
mind. And this way predates the Celts. So
yeah, Unless
My
the Celts
goal
are
is-
older than you guys think. My people might be older. You never know.
My people
Probably.
too. My people too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I gotta say, I really loved your speech, Will. When I came,
Thank you.
Who was Sammy? Were you behind me? And I was like, "Yo, the boy's up there crushing it, dude!" Like he's just like everybody was standing behind the podium, and then Will got up there, and he's just like walking all over the stage, just owning it. He's like he's giving a lecture in a classroom. He was all over the stage, just owning the stage, just everywhere. Didn't
Very
need
good
any
stage
notes.
presence.
Was
You
just
got that
spitting
it
off
factor.
facts and
Hell
detailed
yeah.
information. It was really good.
Thank
What
you.
did
That's
you
because
focus on?
that's because my eyesight is failing me, and I had to go like read what my screen said. I was like, okay, what's the slide? I had to go walk over there. It's like, I was a smorgasbord. In fact, I think I saw somebody in the live stream was like, he's kind of all over the place, but I was a smorgasbord. I did the archaeoastronomy. I took some time lapses of that American Ogum.
That was so cool.
And then I also took some drone shots at Chimney Rock, Colorado, which I just showed you on Google Earth, and I showed those, kind of tied it into the current business cycle. And then I did T-shaped windows and doors, which is something I've been like screaming about, but I don't know how to do it in a way that I haven't successfully made it like a good impacting video on it yet. I want to do it soon. And then the cover up at Way It's Laco, which is like one of my bigger videos on YouTube, which shows potential evidence of man being, or some type of hominid being in the Americas for maybe 250,000 years or possibly even older. Michael Button also made a really fantastic video on that a couple months ago that got shouted out by Joe Rogan, actually. Oh, which kind of maybe started on this podcast a little bit. I mean, he was already doing the research, but I think we gave him the push to.
Oh yeah,
do it,
that was all
so,
you,
yeah.
Will. Like you were the one. Like you said it several times. Like Michael needs to cover this. Michael needs to cover this. And then like days later, he did. And then like right after that, he gets the Rogan call out. It's so freaking cool. Wait, what was the topic that made Sammy go, "Oh, it's so cool"? Because I want to dig into that more. I'm getting like serious FOMO.
So I took a time lapse, probably 2022, the spring equinox. Maybe I can even just pull this up real quick. And I was out in southeast Colorado, right next to my hometown, which is another reason I really loved it, because I didn't even know there was petroglyphs near my hometown. And on the spring equinox, inside this cave called Crack Cave, there is a. Here, can I share my screen?
Yeah, I think so.
Let me see there. All right, there's a. Whoops. Sorry, wrong button.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
So there is a. Yeah, this one right here. You all see that?
No.
All right.
Yes.
Nope. Can't. You can?
We got it.
No, we can. Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to play this. So this cave right here, they close it up throughout the years, and at sunrise on the spring equinox, it perfectly illuminates this inscription. I mean, it looks like an inscription to me, and it looks very similar to Celtic Ogum. It's horizontal Celtic Ogum. And, whoever put that there did that on purpose. This was an equinox marker for sure. I'm not saying it was Celts. In fact, I don't think Celts were running around southeast Colorado. But I do wonder if there's some, how there's like universal language, some people think that like, I wonder if it's similar with script. If this is like how it starts almost before script ends up evolving into other forms of script. And so that's what the Celtic Ogum is. And you can see here, this is what it looks like out in Ireland. This is a vertical example. And then here's a horizontal example of it written back in the old days in Ireland. And these notches and these angles of these notches are intentional, and you can translate it. They have it deciphered. Like you could, if you knew Celtic Ogum, you could read this right now. There's some of it out in Oklahoma. And so I was really excited that people were interested in that, because that's another topic that I made early videos about when I was not as big on YouTube, that, maybe got a couple thousand views or something like that, and just never really fully took off. But that's the Celtic Ogum story there. So
that's so cool.
Well, then also how you tied that in with where these sites, like the locations of these sites and how they were astronomically aligned, and how those astronomical alignments also tied into some kind of astrology stuff, like
Yes.
like big dates, like the sun showing up at the what's
moon.
the other one called? Or the moon, yeah, like the 2007, and it's like it's not like that shows up in that location on just any given day. Like there's these overlaps between interesting world events, and
we never stopped following the lunar cycle. We maybe don't say it, but now they have fancy terms for it. Oh, the business cycle, the credit boom and bust cycle, which is basically when money's easy, you have this form of expansion, and when money's not easy, you have this form of contraction, and that contraction period is often when you have the recession, right? Or in some cases with cycles, when multiple cycles combine, you'll have a depression. And so W.D. Gann, the guy I talked about, he followed the lunar standstill cycles, and he accurately predicted the Great Depression. And then when you'd extrapolate it out, he accurately predicted a recession in the 50s, the 1970s inflation crisis, and then the Asian financial crisis, the dot-com bubble, and the 2007 housing crisis. And in my opinion, he predicted the Silicon Valley bank collapse and the yen dollar crisis that just happened over the last 3 years.
I actually made the Silicon Valley bank collapse, but we'll get into that in a minute.
Are you an astrologer? Were you like out there like?
No, I ripped apart Barney Frank on national television the day before it happened, and brought up the fact that he I was just like, you're just like an irrelevant, angry old libtard. And then he was like, I'm on the board of a bank. And then it collapsed the next day. And I was just like,
wait, you did it live?
Yep. There's like articles about it. And stuff.
This is so serendipitous.
That's so
wild. One of my first viral videos ever on Twitter was the day after that happened. I remade the Chimney Rock, Colorado video. I like got it out quick, and I was like, is this happening? Because we are now in the lunar standstill. It just had happened in 2023. The lunar standstill lasts for 3 years. We got 1 more years, everybody. Buckle up.
Dude, I fully believe it. There are so many, I mean, not just like the actual practical financial stuff that's gone on over the last few years. And like, I mean, it's been adding up since like pre-COVID. But I saw a guy, did you guys see the guy who accurately predicted that Trump would get shot through the ear?
No.
Yeah, that made me like wonder if like everything's just a psyop.
Like, is everything I mean, I was like, okay, what's this? I mean, everything.
That was the preacher, right? He had the dream. Yeah.
Everything is a psyop, but he also said that we were going to be going through like a really hard financial year this year. And all my editors at Daily Caller would like make fun of me because I was like, that everything's a psyop, but also the economy is going to collapse. And everyone was like, you're an idiot. Shut up. Okay.
Yeah, that was wild.
Everything is a psyop.
Wrong. I'm not.
But everything is also a simulation. Like if we're in a simulation, that means that everything is based around algorithms, and there has to be an algorithm for everything. And even the psyops might be algorithmic. I don't know. This is my own brain making shit up.
And by the way, I am not an astrologer. Like, I don't think you should live your life around astrology. I think it's real. But I think the trap of astrology is that a lot of people will like prepare for Mercury retrograde, and they've already decided that next week's going to be shitty. And it's like, okay, well, then it's going to be shitty if you've already decided that. It's like, use it as I don't even try to pay attention to it because I think you can literally cast a spell on yourself. But if you are into it, just because it's raining doesn't mean you shouldn't go outside. You just, put a coat on, or whatever. So
yeah,
that's a great analogy.
You know what I mean?
I like that. Use it as like, I mean, it's almost like feeding. Like it's like, oh, shut up! That's not funny. The noise just stopped as well, so I'm fine. I'm safe. Did make me see that one of my plants was for sure dying up there. That I need to water. But shut up. Bad friend. But I think like yeah, it's like not necessarily like predictive programming isn't the right word, but if you know that Mercury is going to go into retrograde, then make that conscious effort to be like, no. I remember I got an energy healing before every Mercury retrograde when I lived in LA.
I was gonna say that was when you were in LA.
That's
I was all in LA. LA thing. But
well, I think like in the context of ancient civilizations, it's kind of silly to just completely disregard astrology
100%.
in the way that like all of these civilizations, humans have looked at the stars for all sorts of things. Why would it be crazy to also use, to think that the stars aren't reflective of some kind of sociological, like there's also that level to it as well. Like it's not just a calendar to keep dates. Like there's like energetic influences and
it also doesn't have to be magic or woohoo. Like we're made up of 75% water. There are celestial gravitational forces that are maybe going out of wonk from what they normally were. We know what that does to the tides. So I'm sure it's doing something to us physically, metaphysically, emotionally, spiritually, which I guess is a little bit woo-woo, but yeah. So on a massive level, sure, it's probably affecting behavior. When it affects behavior, that's what the economy is. The economy is the study of human behavior. So
y'all see that wasn't in the supermoon on Friday or Saturday? Did y'all see
Friday,
that moon?
When we started the event.
Ooh, amazing.
When I came in, Steve picked me up from the airport. Thank you, Robert, by the way. And the moon was massive over the horizon, and then I looked back and the sun was setting. So the moon was just coming up, a supermoon, and the sun was still in the sky setting. And so they both just looked huge in the sky. It was so crazy. It was awesome.
That was amazing.
That was the first day.
Yeah.
I missed it. I was too sleepy.
That's beautiful.
That was cool.
And I mean,
we had some pretty hard partiers. Who do you think took the cake for the hardest I don't know though. You know what, Robert? I'm gonna put you on blast. Robert shut it down the last night. Robert,
I had to. I'm from California. I had to show them what's what.
Well, you put on a good party, so it only made sense.
Sam from Illegitimate Scholar was always showing people a good time.
He was
always,
Sam's always a laugh, even like through the phone or computer screen. Like he is such a laugh. Shout out to Sam. He was in here earlier. I don't know if he's still here.
Had a good time with him this week. That was fun.
Yeah, Robert took everybody out to the pool after the bar closed. Kept them out there till. Well, how long did y'all stay out there, Robert?
2 a.m. After someone said 2 a.m., I was like, oh, shit. I want to go to sleep. And, did you meet that guy? Stig. Stig.
Yeah.
So we were out back talking, and everyone asked for a speech or something. I gave my 2 cents about, this is it. Like, someone said to me afterwards, this is the team building. We're getting together and having a party. And man, Aaron brought out the heavy duty stuff. And there was all of the guys were out there, but Stig wanted to take over, and that was my exit. I was like, 2 a.m. Stig wants to take over now. I'm done. Said my speech. See you guys later. It was a great party on Sunday night.
Heck yeah! It wasn't exactly. It's probably a little cold. I'm guessing, right?
No, we had the heaters out there. They had the outdoor heaters, so we turned them all on, and yeah, it was perfect. It was like one of those serendipity things you're talking about. I didn't want to go out Friday and Saturday because I'd have to work the next day. So I said, well, I'll show up Sunday then. I got to leave.
Party.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Obligatory throwdown on how big a puff you can take.
I stayed until they shut the bar down there, and I was dying. I think I looked like I was dying. Okay, like it was ridiculous. Like I was losing my voice. My voice is still messed up. I was losing my voice. My eyes were like bloodshot red.
Yeah.
And I
He
just
was being powered by Sudafed.
I was just hopped up on Sudafed the last 2 days, and it was so
you've
bad.
done so much, Mike. Like we were talking about, I don't know if you were listening, but you do so much for everyone else. Like I'm amazed that Sammy's still powering through after like Egypt and everything, but yeah, you really go all out for everyone. So, and you also kind of predicted this for yourself, not the getting sick thing. You did say as soon as the conference is over, you were going to go like full hermit until the new year. And my goodness, have you earned it? Yeah. Like, God bless you.
Go hermit mode. Yeah. And hang out with my animals.
Hermit. Yeah, I mean, you still have to show up here every Tuesday, and we're also going to end up doing another video, but we'll wait until your throat's better before I start harassing you for voiceover. Don't worry.
I'm gonna make my dog cuddle with me a little bit. He hates me. He hates hugs.
He's sore. Is he old and sore? Kind of.
He's old and he hates it. He's like, what are you doing, bro? Like, what is this? And I'm gonna make him. I'm gonna love. And then
horse cuddles.
Yeah, he's getting it.
What was your favorite part of the conference, Mike? Apart from like the
look, I had some favorite speakers. Will was a highlight. Michael Button was a highlight. William Henry was a highlight. And but I really enjoyed meeting. There's so many people here in chat right now that were there, and it was so cool to meet everybody in person. And it was funny because people were introducing themselves, and they're like, "I'm in your chat all the time," and then I'm like, "Okay, what's your name on there?" And then we were, that's how I was getting to know people. And then there's people that have gone on tours with us, and
Jeff up north.
I think.
That's Jeff.
Yeah, and it was such a cool experience to just be meeting everybody in real time and seeing people be a part of this community thing that we keep talking about and trying to grow, show up over and over and over again. That was so cool. And so many people saying that they wanted to, start doing something, start getting involved somewhere or something. And it's like, dude, start. Yes, we want to. We all want to support you. Yeah, I did hear earlier. My internet was good enough for me to hear earlier. Will, you saying something about? We've talked about this before about it being a really big world. There's and not having a scarcity mindset, and creators and content creators that are moving into this future that we have in front of us need to understand the importance of collaboration and I think that those are going to be the people that kind of carry this forward. There is no scarcity, right? By you helping somebody else, it only helps you. And I can't wait to see people that were hanging out in the crowd standing up on stage in 5 years or something.
Yeah, man.
Because they've just decided to listen to something that's in their heart and pursue that. And so it's really cool. That was probably my favorite part, was just connecting with everybody and all that stuff. And if you saw me running away, it's just because I'm introverted, and I can be pretty social for about an hour at a time, and then I got to retreat for like a couple of hours and then come back out,
recharge.
But I had a blast. Connecting with all the people. That was my favorite part.
Yeah.
That's
man,
beautiful.
there was like there's two Joshes there, younger content creators, up and coming content creators named Josh. I've known both of them from Instagram for a while. One of them, Josh the Ancient, was there handing out notepads. Shout out to Josh the Ancient. I really like his content. And then another one, a younger guy, about 22, named Josh, 23. He'd reached out to me like 3 months ago just saying, hey, like, you got any advice? I'm wanting to start making content. And we talked for a little bit about 3 months ago about that. And he hit me up about a week ago and was like, I'm going to be at the conference. Come find me. And we hung out 2 nights in a row. We got a beer together, talked about making content. And it's like, that's the first time that's ever happened to me in my life where, a stranger had reached out and then we met, later because of the internet. It sounds weird, but it was great.
Cool, right?
Yeah.
But
It
was really
cool.
cool.
Community and yeah.
But listening to the way that, Robert's entire life has really led up to the cultivation of this type of community. Like when you put it like that, well, it's not creepy and gay. It's very European in that way.
I just meant the way that I phrased it was a little.
This is
But
my
no, it
friend
was-
from the internet. No,
Yeah,
I think
my
it's
internet
like
friend.
awesome.
We all have those.
Yeah,
Totally.
you guys are all my internet friends, basically.
Right. And
My other
and
highlight was
huge-
my. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say huge props to you, Robert, for the work that you put. Look, I'm not going to give you guys all the details, but I've been privy to all the behind scenes stuff that it took to pull this off. And I've watched Robert over the last, 6 months, man, like put something together and get it done that I think if anybody else was in charge of, couldn't have done it, couldn't have made it happen. And I've done a lot and been in a lot of situations and tough situations, but I watched Robert handle stuff in a way that I've never seen anybody really do. And it was all to every time it got tough. It was like anytime that he was saying something, it was about the community. Well, everybody needs to have this, or everybody needs to have this. This needs to be done this way so that people can connect. This needs to be done this way so that people are gelling and so that we're vibing and we're moving into this forward momentum for the next conference and people can gather and grow and all these relationships can form. And that's how we do it, man. That's how, Robert, that's how we do it, man. We gotta, I always in my head think, what's funny is I always pictured you kind of as this like, SoCal surfer dude, skater. And then I'm at the conference and I'm walking over to the convention center and here comes Robert on a fucking skateboard.
on a longboard.
On a longboard.
So
I was like, I told him, I was like, dude, this is exactly how I've always pictured you. But never once was there something like never once was Robert like, we got to make all this money. It was always like, we've got to create this environment. We got to do this so that people are connecting. We got to do this so this community is growing. We got to do this so it can facilitate this for people. And just what you pulled off this weekend. I didn't talk to a single person that was bummed out, down, or felt like they had made a mistake coming to this event. Everybody was just so pumped and hyped up. It was just so cool. Thank you so much, Robert, for putting this together and doing all the hard work behind the scenes like you did.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. Like that's really the big reward. I know it, and that's part of what I got out of theology school is that we're not going to convince people on the mental level. Everybody's going to come in from wherever they're coming in from, and they're going to have their perceptions no matter what. So we really have to meet somewhere on the heart level, and we really have to like meet each other as real human beings and like we care about each other, not just what we can get out of each other.
Absolutely.
That's what I got out of studying the Bible without throwing the baby out with the bathwater. I was like, okay, there's a lot of things I don't like here, but there's also, again, like I said before, there's the technology. It's the principles and things that any person, no matter how much or how little money they have, can initiate themselves. And so all of this is actually available to all of us. And I think some of this stuff about community, not some of it, all of it, it goes back to our ancient times. Like I was saying to Kay earlier about the fires, they're old as the heavens, sitting around having fire and food together and telling stories. And what keeps people together is the stories. Telling the stories is so much important. That's why these dudes are always trying to control the narrative. The human social
Those shitty
fabric,
dudes.
Lizard people.
Friggin'
the
lizards.
human social fabric relies on us telling the story to each other. What is the story? When you come to meet one of your friends, hey, what's your story, man? You know, and without that integration, the story and the food and the environment and stuff, we just miss the opportunity to bond. So I know that from getting my ass kicked a lot of times on other events and things like that. But I always stuck to what's important. You know, media, when you're putting images up there, now people can see what you're saying. And now those words that you're adding to it get more and more powerful. And so it's media, iconography, symbolism, music, food. Like I kept telling you, Mike was saying, well, why should we pay all this money for this food up front? I was like right there with him, you know. I was like, I'm scared shitless too. This is a huge risk, you know, us go up fronting the food. Like the hotel has us by the balls and they know it. But
the food was good.
The food was good. And
really good.
The important thing is people are going off campus to go get food, then the energy disperses, and then it has to go up again, and then it disperses. So by everybody, as many people who could be there could just stay there on site, that means they get to hang out like it's kids camp for adults.
Yeah.
You know?
I love that. That's so cool.
It did feel like camp.
Pulling this off, Robert, tell us. I'm sure you guys have already touched on it since, you know, before I got in here, but tell us what else you have planned for next year, what 26 looks like, and what your vision is for that.
Well, like I
know people watching want to hear that.
Yeah, like I told the audience, and I told you, Mike, when we first met, is I was really going for another year at Sedona, and I wanted to do December and May in Sedona, and I threw one of the best events they ever had there, and I've done many events, so I thought they would just roll out the red carpet, and they need money, so I thought they would give me a check. And when I went in and asked them and pressed them, why aren't you giving me this event? They gave me a bunch of hee-haw. But before I left, she said, oh, you're not bringing Graham Hancock back next year, are you? I said, what? You don't like Graham? That would be impossible. Like, he brought all these people here.
Yeah.
Not like Graham. And then I realized it's connected to the school system. But that back information is only to tell you that they were slow walking me and wouldn't give me a date in December. And we're trying to, I don't know why they were slow walking me. I shouldn't say that in public, but it seemed like that's what was going on. And so I said, okay, fuck this shit. I'm going to go to Phoenix and find a place right now. It's right there. We can do a place in Phoenix. And it was hard. Like, I couldn't find a place. I spent like a month and a half before I had even talked to Mike. And then Giselle, my good friend, said, oh, you should think about Austin. I was like, Austin now? Like, now we're all over the board. I was like, well, of course, that makes sense. And she goes, if you're going to go to Austin, you should have the best place in Austin. And I said, okay, what's that? And she said the ACL Moody Theater. And I thought, that sounds impossible. That sounds like way above my pay grade.
By the way, if people don't know, the Moody Theater is one of the premier event spaces in the entire country. I mean, this is where they do comedy specials, like, you know, filmed, televised shows. This is like
concerts,
the space,
big concerts.
And I, you know, you could just go look up ACL Moody Theater and look at the venue, and it's so sick. Anyway,
so is that where the Austin event is going to be? So that's where the Austin event is going to be.
Yeah,
that's so freaking cool.
That's amazing. Okay, and what month is that?
So Giselle told me to go for the best place, and they have a system. They already had pre-bookings, 3 different nights because they were all musicians, 3 nights. So if I wanted it for the weekend, I had to challenge 3 different people and win all of them to get the weekend, and I did.
And by the way, the
cute.
event, if people wanted to have like a crazy experience in Austin, the Moody Theater is right downtown, so you can just take an Uber from the airport, get to your hotel downtown. You don't need a car. You can just walk around because we're right in the middle of everything. You can just walk just blocks to anything downtown. And then not only that, but I was going to say something else, but I just totally forgot. So.
But
Joe Rogan's
it's an incredible location.
Joe Rogan's Comedy Store is just down the road. Just a
that's
block
cool.
down the road. Food.
Oh, F1.
We'll have to stay through Monday and go to a Kill Tony
Yeah.
thing. We should do that.
I remember the other thing. F1 is the week before. So you can come to Austin and do F1 and then stay if you want. We're sandwiched between actually,
it's reversed. It's the music festival and then us and then F1.
ACL Fest, us, and then F1.
That's so cool.
That's
so
it. ACL is a big deal.
Do the music event and stay for us. You could come do us, stay for F1. You could come do all 3. And if you do, we got to hang out because Austin's my hometown.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
And
See, I always thought that was because of you. I thought that you guys were doing Austin because you live there. So that's cool. That's perfect.
I'm only telling this backstory because it seemed like some force or someone was slow walking or trying to prevent it. And I said, okay, well, forget that then. I'm not letting that happen. And we got we got Austin first before we got any of the other dates.
Isn't that crazy?
And we got Austin July 9th. And then the week later, Scottsdale called me after I'd been trying for 2 months already to find a place and said, okay, we got your message and you can have December. And I was like, what? Okay, I'm going for it all. And I'm going to get Sedona still. However long they try to like hold me out, I'm going to get it. So we got Austin and Scottsdale before I got a contract with Sedona 4 months later after the event. And by them slow walking me, I could have had an event already. The energy was up. We would have been selling tickets right away so I really felt like there was this invisible force that was just trying to dissipate the energy. But we got some great, now that we've got Scottsdale out of the way, Sedona and Austin are already set up. And, you know, Sedona is going to be a little more intimate because we only have so many seats. And after that, that's it. It's, you know, only a certain amount can get in. And we have the Sedona nature, and we're going to take a road trip.
Are tickets live for
yeah.
Sedona yet?
What's that? Yeah, online you can look at the different events and the Sedona events there right now. We'll have Austin up this week. I still have to fill out the one sheet with the ACL, and then we're going to be rolling. All the ticket sales will be open, and I just heard tons of people just saying they were so thankful, they were so grateful. Some people had never come to an event and said it blew their mind, and they were either going to go to Sedona or Austin or both. And like, I don't know if I told you, Mike, these 3 guys that met at Graham's last time individually, they came and had lunch with me. And they said they're just going to come to all of our events as the thing they do is a new friendship. And they met at the last event in April. And here they are, 3 of them having lunch with me, saying they didn't know each other at all. 3 young guys in their 20s. And I was just like, that's it. That's what this is about. And they were so grateful and thank you and thank you and thank you. That's the energy, man. That's the juice.
So the tickets aren't live yet, but the tickets for both Sedona and Austin will be live in about a week or 2.
Sedona is on the site if you go up to like just below Scottsdale. and I went in there before and already set up the ticks. We don't have the itinerary and all that stuff. We have most of the speakers already confirmed. I think there's only one or two. Praveen Mohan's going to be there in Sedona and Austin, so he's really big. I'm so looking forward to meeting Praveen because he brings all this. Yeah, he's a genius, and he brings all this Indian from India, technology. Yeah, and Sedona, is the place to go just to get away from everything, to check out and just get close to nature. So
Love
I think
Sedona.
It's not taking you to the ticks?
No, it is. I just wanted to pull it up since this page is really minimal. But this button right here, I just want to show people. We'll take them to the tickets. So,
yeah, Robert, I met
this button right here.
I met 4 young guys in their 20s and 30s that they met. I think they met. I heard they were there from Luke, my buddy Luke Caverns. He's like, hey, my friends are there, and this is what they do. These 4 guys, they go around to these ancient history conferences, and they've heard about this one. They booked last second, had a really good time, and I think they're probably planning on going to more. So
that's amazing.
And that's what's great. They travel in groups because, once again, community. These people, all 4 of them, they don't live in the same state. They met on a tour. I want to say an ancient site tour in Mexico. And they've been doing this for a couple of years now. They go to all these different conferences. So
that's so cool.
That's amazing. That's so freaking cool. Heck yeah. Yeah. Do you guys want to get into some super chats yet?
Yeah.
I know we've been going for like 2.5 hours. I don't want to forget anyone. I think there was some good ones in there for us to dig into as well.
Super chats. We need like a musical intro for super chats. Do we have any musicians out there? That'd be cool. He come in and just be like, super chats, super chats.
I'll do some singing super chats. No, I'm just kidding.
I could use my sound design skills to put something together.
There we go. You could just come back and clip that Kay doing super chats.
Yeah.
Just loop
it. AI. There's a couple of AI bands that we like that are really funny. Oh, someone in the chat said that things are actually getting better for Randall. Like things are going better, but I don't. That's all I saw from the chat. You guys,
Robert, you want to take that?
Yeah, he's doing much better. Right when he was coming back from the Azores, it hit him, and he had to go to the hospital in Boston right away before he even got home from Atlanta. So everybody and their brother, including myself and some other friends, have been throwing lots of medicine options his way, and he's got lots of good help. And he said he's feeling much better now. Yeah.
Good. Okay. And let's spend a minute asking you to talk about maps.
Let's read
we can talk about the maps.
Oh,
Let's spend a minute discussing how topo maps really show what a continent it's really like. Look at South America. I'm just reading it for if people are only listening. Wow, a skinny mountain range, a giant basin, and some islands in the east.
Heck yeah, Craig loves pyramids.
Mirrorway maps. These are actually geological maps that are made by the Geological Society of America. So I believe that means that they're public domain, and Mirrorway Maps has done a great job of taking that and putting their artistic skills to it with like a cartographer and making these awesome maps. So if you go to if you want to buy a map, a little shameless plug here, and all of my socials, I have my affiliate link with Mirrorway. And be an awesome gift. They also have 3D maps, so it's pretty sweet maps.
Yeah, they are cool. Thank you for the super chat. Craig loves pyramids.
Yeah, thank you, Craig. I saw a really funny thing on Twitter earlier because I think geography is hilarious. But it was someone talking about how there's this huge chunk down the western half of the United States where no one lives. Why don't we just build a bunch of affordable housing there and let people live there? And someone had retweeted with a picture of Europe like a topo of Europe, and there's just like this one big chunk where the Alps are, being like, yeah, why don't they just build a bunch of affordable housing there? And I was like, see, if you learn your geography, you get how funny that ratio is.
In the Swiss Alps, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, go build a house there, bro. Have fun. There's no water and it's always snowy.
Wait,
no access
there's no what? Okay.
There's no water.
Water? I love it. I actually love it. I'm not even making fun of you. It's my favorite way that water's pronounced.
What's that song that's like, oh, like
that down with the sickness.
Down with the sickness. That's it. Like people do that and they're like, oh, water bottle. Yeah. That's how we talk.
Water bottle.
Water bottle. But Craig.
Jeff. Hold on.
Shout out to Jeff.
We love you, Jeff.
It was really nice getting dinner with you, Jeff. That pizza was good.
Heck yeah. I can't wait to meet Jeff. He's like
he and I the only thing I regret is that I couldn't see his reaction because it was all dark back there, but I saw him stand up. I wanted to Jeff's doing amazing work and is such a stud. Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you. Wait to get Jeff on the stream. He needs to come join us and hang out for an evening.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. I want to listen to him talk. I want to listen to him riff about the copper mining. Somebody in the Q&A part of my talk was asking about Michigan sites. So I gave Jeff a little plug there because I don't know that much about Michigan. I know that Isle Royale National Park has a lot of copper mines, ancient copper mines. So
we talked to Jeff and Ricardo about coming on and just fucking overloading us with copper mine information, which would be amazing.
Ricardo's awesome too,
and educating people on the UP there and the connection with Europe and the copper mines.
Yeah, I think we need to dedicate like several hours to that because that sounds like a freaking awesome time. I love that we do this for a living. This is so much fun. A living. We make some money. Enough to like buy a takeout every couple of months.
Yeah, I sent you guys $20 the other day.
Yeah. No, we do. Thank you.
Me one green curry.
We'll definitely make Austin. I'm like, Austin is also on my calendar, and even if we're dragging I don't even know how many months old, like an 8-month-old around with us. I'll wear them the whole time. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl yet. We'll just wear them the whole time. So we're gonna hang out. Yeah, I can't wait for that. It's gonna be so good. I mean, if things go well, fuck it, we'll be at Sedona. But
I like that energy.
But yeah,
you should come to Sedona. Speaking of copper mines, William, I have a really close friend I want to introduce you to that grew up in Michigan. And he's totally into rocks and stones. I want to introduce you all to him. But he was also an electrician, and he's made this. I made a video about it, a short video about it. Really cool underground sweat lodge that's all connected with copper and crystals and piezoelectric energy and megalithic stones. Yeah,
that's right up my alley. You know, they think some people think that the reason there's so many UFO sightings around volcanoes is because of the piezoelectricity. And then you get into like the what's the father's side? Carl Jung. He had his theory about like the archetypes and the plasma energy and all that. And so that'd be right up my alley because I also love the sauna. I'm like an avid sauna user.
Well, it can extend your life expectancy. Like I've missed the sauna and the steam room so much. Like I quit smoking the day I found out I was pregnant, but I would say if I had to pick like a top 3, it would be smoking, sauna, steam room is like what I've missed, because it's so good and healthy for you. And talk about somewhere where like you can just sit down and talk and connect. It's like the only healthy way I've ever done it. It's so lovely.
That being said, Brian Johnson, the do not die guy, I kind of like him. I used to be like that with him too. I've been watching him lately. He's kind of funny. And I kind of like the dedication. So he did a 30 days sauna program, and yes, very, very healthy. In fact, he like got rid of all the like plastic out of his balls with 30 days of sauna. But his fertility markers went down. So he has a new protocol. You got to ice the boys while you're in the sauna. You got to bring a little ice pack, put it between the compressions. He said it. Yep, that worked. He said everything went back to normal when he started doing that. So
I do love that he's contributing himself for science. No normal person has access to that level of monitoring every vital, every little thing. That's crazy.
He won me over when he told Tucker Carlson that he's fully aware that he's going to die the most ironic death and probably choke on a pill or something. I was like, okay, he's like at least kind of down to earth. And also when he live streamed himself taking 5 grams of mushrooms, I was like, all right, he's kind of cool.
Oh yeah.
Is this the guy that's transfusing his son's blood into himself?
Yeah, that's the guy.
Totally he looks like a vampire.
Well, that's because he doesn't get sun. He refuses to go in the sun.
That's kind of not good for you. That's gonna kill him if anything does.
That's counterintuitive.
Yeah.
I know he's had a lot of people argue with him about this. But yeah, funny guy. I've been giving him a chance lately because I'm like, okay, well, at least he's kind of like aware that he's a freak. So
I think he is.
Yeah, he's definitely got that self-awareness.
Michelle, sorry we're outing her name.
Oh, sorry.
Ruined world.
Heck yeah! Thank you for the super chat, Michelle. I can't wait to meet you. We were actually.
You'll love her. Yeah. She's so sweet. It was so good to meet you.
And, Michelle's name came up before we even went live.
I'm in my mom's office right now, and I told her earlier. I was like, "Mom, I met another Michelle with 1 L." So,
love it. Heck yeah, Michelle. We'll go hang out in the sauna together. All the boys will have their balls on ice, but still, it'll be good.
Gotta ice those balls.
It is funny though, because John used to do the sauna and steam room. We would go every day because we have a Y membership. I love my local Y. It's like going into a high school gymnasium, but it has a sauna and a steam room, and it's all old ladies. And I think for the 2 months, something happened where it was either broken or something happened. And it was the 2-month run up to when we were going to we'll just casually start trying, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, if we don't get pregnant, you're going to have to stop doing the sauna and steam room for a bit and see if that makes a difference. And then he had to stop. And that's why I'm 50 pounds heavier now. But I told him, I was like, I knew it would have an effect. But no, true. I woke up the other day and he was just like, dude, Brian Johnson took 5 milligrams of mushrooms.
Grams.
It's one of the best things.
Grams of mushrooms.
Grams of mushrooms. And he was like, it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was funny. It was entertaining.
I once ate
That's so brave.
Almost 20 grams of mushrooms.
Oh, shit.
Where did you go?
No wonder you're a Christian. You spend that much time with God.
I was throwing a party.
Seriously.
I was 16, I think, and I was throwing a party at my house.
You were 16.
I had no parental supervision. It was and anyways, when I was younger. And I just left. I left my entire house with 100 people in my home and was walking around the street. And I had a pet rat. And I went and I sat behind. I was a little gutter punk kid, mohawk and everything. And I went and hid behind in an alley somewhere and hung out with my rat. Because I had locked myself. I had gone into the house and then I went into a bedroom, locked myself in the bedroom and then locked myself in the bathroom and then got in the tub. And then bugs and stuff started pouring out of all the faucets and I ran out of the house and left. And I just left my whole home with 100 people in it. And,
oh my gosh.
Went and hid behind a dumpster in an alley with my rat.
Do you remember the whole thing? Did you?
I remember everything.
Yeah.
I feel like I would have blacked
friends
out.
that did the same, and one of the kids ripped a tongue ring out of his face, just grabbed it and yanked it out. He lost his shit that night and ended up in a hospital that night.
Oh,
luckily,
God.
I did not.
Oh man,
lose my brain that bad.
Wow, how long did it last?
All night.
Oh yeah, that 20 grams, dude. That'll carry over for 48 hours.
I was gonna say several days.
I mean, I guess it's
it was
not
horrible.
acid.
I couldn't look at anything. I was just And then if I shut my eyes, it was the same thing.
Yeah.
Nothing disappeared if I shut my eyes. It just continued.
Wait, was that your first time doing mushrooms?
No. I was already an expert in my field.
I
was like, if that was your first time, that would.
I also over OD'd on mushrooms once, and it was terrifying. It was like wild. But I think that was the moment it cured my like atheism. Like I was going through like the post-college atheistic kind of phase, and I took way too many mushrooms one day, thinking I was going to have like a museum dose. I didn't know what the dosage was. And within 10 minutes, like the trees were waving, and I was like, oh shit. And, I just remember being there and being like, man, I should probably stop telling people I don't believe in God, because I think he's talking to me right now. It was wild. Oh man, I got all kinds of stories I can tell you. I don't do any of that anymore.
This group minus K.
Oh yeah, I've never done anything wrong.
She's an angel child.
Yeah.
I think we could all tell some stories. Me probably less than all of you, honestly.
You're all legit now. You can talk about whatever you want.
No, I don't have my citizenship yet. I'm just green card, and I still have to.
Okay.
Like,
well, then I'm
I have
glad
my permanent
we have
residency.
somebody with a sober perspective here.
Yeah, but you're going around telling everybody our government didn't go to the moon. Okay?
Yeah, they didn't go to the moon. They didn't go to the moon.
You better be
Barry's
careful.
Wrong.
You better be careful. I'm going to call the State Department and say, hey, check this person out.
I can't believe Michael Button posted a picture of himself shooting the machine guns and stuff.
Did you tell him that someone got arrested? And
yeah.
Okay for that? I hope it's.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
That's
like
wild.
People when that was like a thing. One of my friends pulled up a picture of me with like a massive gun. When I think it was on like Newsmax or something like that, like some national TV station. I just like called my immigration attorney. I was like, am I going to be in trouble? She's just like, nah, Trump won. They love that shit. You'll be fine. And I was like, okay, nice. Fuck yeah, let's go. Let's go. Immigration stuff is always like, I know this is going to sound really counterintuitive and probably like piss a lot of people off, but having gone through it several times under Obama, Trump, Biden, and then Trump again, I've never had an easier immigration process than under Donald Trump when he's in power.
So interesting.
Everyone thinks is insane, but it is. It's just you just do the paperwork. And actually, when I went in for my green card interview, I don't know, stop me if I've told you this. I stood up and like John, John's obviously there with me, and the guy like opens the door and he's just like, oh, number whatever it was. And I was like, oh, that's me. And I stand up and I'm like, babe, do you mind carrying my purse? So John stands up and he grabs my purse and I go to like waddle in. He's like, wait there, I only need to speak to you. And I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. So I like go in on my own and I'm like, I sit down. He's just like, yeah, I could just tell that your marriage is legit. I don't really need to speak to your husband. And I was like, oh, okay, but we need to prank him after this then. Okay. I didn't answer like any questions about myself. It was so easy. It was so fluid because I'd filed all the paperwork. And then as we were going out, I was like, listen, John's going to be out there freaking out that you didn't invite him back. So we're going to tell him that I'm getting deported. And so the guy was like, yeah, okay, I'll keep a straight face. But it was great. It was, if you just do it by the rules, then it goes through. This is what I keep telling Michael Button. Like he got in trouble. Like some guy like wrote a hit piece on him, and I was like, "No, that's actually really good. Press is really good for your immigration process. Like you got this."
Mike Button.
Oh yeah,
it was really good meeting him in person.
Who's this guy?
Michael Button and my little brother Drew. I'm pretty sure like best friends now. That was another highlight of my weekend. Like I was out kind of busy one day, and Drew's just hanging out with Michael the whole day.
That's so.
I think Dan Dunking and my boyfriend Ian are best friends now.
I believe that this super chat is, if I'm correct, I think this is from Josh, not Josh the Ancient, but the Josh that I was talking about. So, Josh, heck yeah, you got my number, man. In fact, I'm going to text you back soon. I think it's Josh. If it's not Josh, it was a pleasure meeting everyone. So,
He went to Egypt. I'm just blanking on Mike. You can confirm this.
Wait, are we gonna dox someone on the chat? Are we not gonna do?
Oh yeah, my bad.
I don't know if that's like a thing. I don't know. No, I don't know etiquette.
To be fair, there's like
Magwai. What up, brother?
There's like 10 million Joshes out there, so
yeah, he was on our Egypt trip, and I got to we hung out a little bit. We caught up a little bit.
Mark, my bad. Yes, Mark. Sorry, absolutely, Mark. It was sorry. I think I'm doxing you again, but it was a pleasure, Mark. So this isn't Josh, but yeah.
Heck yeah, Mark.
I started this one because it was earlier in the conversation, but I agreed with this. It's really great how science is becoming so good that it's actually showing how much we don't know and how crazy these stories are even more and more likely, which I think was a really great point that like there was so much of the conference that was these really interesting facts, but it was like not portrayed in like, here's facts that in a dogmatic way, but here's all these interesting facts that just leave us with more questions and make everything just, so much more fun to like just speculate all the possibilities and try to piece everything together. So
that's beautiful. Ian's hit me up on the socials and he is a good dude. Like talk about people with big hearts. Mike, I don't know if you were able to listen in when we were talking about this earlier, but like you, Robert, you just have this like very natural orbit that you pull really good people towards yours. So thank you. But I mean, you Will obviously and Sammy too. But
Will's okay.
You two as all.
I'm working on it. Working on it.
Nah, y'all are a brilliant, beautiful, charismatic bunch. It's the best.
Hey,
and so in the chat.
I'm gonna have to head out, guys, because I haven't had food yet.
Yeah, it might be dinner time for everyone.
Food. Yes. So I thank you so much for having me on. And
love you, Robert.
Hanging out and
thank you for everything.
Thank you all.
Yeah.
So much fun. And good laughs and good memories. Appreciate it so much and thank you for having me.
Hey, let's do it again sometime.
Yeah.
Sure.
Time.
I love telling all the crazy stories.
Yeah,
you had some good stories.
Maybe we'll do a weekend conference thing again sometime or something. I don't know. Maybe we'll do something cool again.
Some ideas around.
Is sounding good to me for next time we meet up.
There you go. Thank you, Robert.
You're in Sedona, Robert.
Yeah, and you guys are all welcome out in Sedona anytime. If you want to check out the Southwest, I'm a touchstone for you.
Yeah, I keep hearing amazing things about the Sweat Lodge. So.
Yeah, the Sweat Lodges. When we come out in Sedona, ahead of time to hang out, we're gonna have some fun because I know the place and yeah.
Just remember to ice those balls.
Yeah, you gotta ice the boys.
Ice the balls. As long as you have icy balls, it should all be good.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Robert. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, thank you guys. So. See you next time.
Nope.
Do I click out or you click
I'll
me
get
out?
you. I got you.
Bye-bye.
See you, Robert.
Bye-bye.
Ciao. Love you. Thanks,
y'all.
Mike. Thank you all.
Bye.
Yeah.
Later, bro.
Ciao.
I saw a thing that apparently people who say love you to friends, I can't remember what the good thing is, but there's like some really good thing about like your health.
Live longer.
Yeah.
I tell my friends I love them.
Yeah.
I think it puts it's I think you're less closed off with your emotions and what you're actually conveying to other people, what you're willing to give, because there can be resistance to saying I love you to people because you're protecting yourself. But you don't have to. You don't have to protect yourself if you're putting good energy out.
Yeah, totally. I agree. That's why I love you guys so much.
I love you.
I love you.
I love you. That's kind of what I got from like this whole freaking thing though, was like what a beautiful community you guys have built over like 1 week. I mean, it wasn't over one weekend, but like what a love fest. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if at some point like babies start being made at these conferences.
Wouldn't that be cool? People getting married and having babies.
So cool. Hopefully, like, because they're either going to turn into like super spreader events for like
Look at this
chlamydia,
guy.
or it's going to be babies. And let's hope it's babies. Oh, Josh.
Shout out
I
Josh
wish
the
I'd got
Ancient.
more time to connect with you, Josh. We just were able to shake hands, and so next time we bump into each other, I hope we can shoot the shit a little bit.
Follow him on Instagram. Really good Mesoamerican content on Instagram and I believe TikTok, and
Josh
also is on Twitter.
Ancient.
But yep,
I'm gonna look him up right now.
Josh, I have the notepad too. I like don't have a notepad, so I'm going to be using it. So
I have it.
Appreciate that.
I just
Josh-
got home. It's in my suitcase.
Josh was giving out merch, Josh the Ancient merch, and the
That's
notepad and a pin.
awesome.
So
Oh, that's so cool. So smart.
yep.
Yeah, that's so lovely.
Creative.
Yeah, what a love you guys.
Did we get through all the super chats?
We did.
All right.
Yeah, heck
Well,
yeah.
dude, thank you guys for jumping in for me while I was on a plane. Thank you,
Absolutely.
Will, for coming in and doing
Yes,
that.
sir.
Yeah, thank you, Will.
You're the man.
Yes,
Will's the
sir.
man.
Anytime.
You
Anytime.
are.
What are we all eating for dinner?
I'm going to
I have
bread.
no food in my house.
Bread
I t-
I'm
or
going
bed?
to bread. I'm going to bread. Bed.
Same.
All right. Well, love you guys. Love you, chat.
Love you all.
Y'all.
This was
Thank
freaking
you.
awesome. You
I'm
guys are
glad
all
I got to be
amazing.
here for just a little bit. I was
Yeah.
here
It was
almost
fun.
an hour, wasn't I?
Yeah, you were here for a hot minute. You were here over an hour, I think.
Straight off the plane. Just
Yeah.
off the
Fucking
plane.
shout out to Mike for pulling all this shit together. Let's give Mike a fucking stand. I'm
Yeah.
not going to stand up. I'm too fat. But like, freaking standing ovation to Mike for putting together cool as shit. And then putting together this conference, cool as shit. And then just like creating this entire community. Michael Collins, we are
job.
worthy.
Yeah.
Well, that's very sweet.
There's
Thank you.
Best.
you have.
Couldn't be here
you-
without you.
I think it's going to be a successful live stream that you all got going on here. So
Oh heck yeah!
Thank
I was
you.
get
We
a
have so
live
much
stream,
fun.
and we're not just hanging out at the pub together. Like
we need to do that.
Yeah.
we do need to
I
do
like
that.
that. Yeah.
I'll be fun
But,
too.
heck yeah, I love it.
Yeah. I'm going to go ice my balls.
Same.
Oh, some force cuddles.
Same. I got a bag of iced vegetables waiting for me right now. I'm gonna go hit the sauna.
That's
And
gonna
you
use
just
stream
you
live.
just-
Like that's gonna be the like little
Yeah.
catchphrase.
You just throw them right back in the freezer later.
Some peas.
Good.
Done.
Yep,
Done.
There you go. All right. Love you guys.
All right, love y'all. Later.
Bye.
Bye.
Ending the stream.